You know, I honestly only remembered late last night there was a Pokemon Presents going on today. Where's my camera? There it be. There it be. That's kind of important. Yeah, apparently there's a 24-minute Pokemon Presents today. Presumably with like some Legends ZA, ZA, whatever the heck stuff. And I don't know, 4 minutes of that, 20 minutes of mobile game ads if we're going to follow suit of some of the previous Pokemon Presents stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I usually stream this kind of thing. Let's go ahead and stream this. So I was gonna stream late last night, but I was like, oh yeah, there's a Pokemon Presents tomorrow morning, isn't there? I remembered, and I went to hit the hay. So, so here I am to check out the Pokemon Presents and see if there's anything interesting here. Don't give two shits about the mobile game ads that will be here as well as a rush double A game that sells like a quadruple A game. It sells better than a quadruple A game if our only frame of reference is Skull and Bones for quadruple A, because I can't imagine that game sold all that well, and I will endlessly make fun of Skull and Bones, even though it doesn't deserve it, but I'll tune in to talk to you, I guess. Well, I appreciate that there, John Wildcat. I hope things are going well today. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I'm still hopeful about potentially being surprised about the new Legends game. Graphically, things like the Pokemon actually look, passable now and stuff. The human models look good as well, but that was always the case with like the previous games. I feel like those have always looked just fine. But, my biggest worry is the game feeling repetitive and samey when it just takes place in one city, and the game also just looking and feeling samey when every single building has like the exact same repeating window texture. And, oh my god. When every building has the same repeating window texture and just looks so completely flat. Like all the balconies are just textured on. Oh man. For the sake of covering it on the channel, I actually did pre-order Legends ZA here recently. Yeah. When I was out picking up Donkey Kong Bonanza here, I pre-ordered Legends ZA. The Switch 2 edition rather than the Switch 1 edition. And while I was there, I also pre-ordered a game I'm a lot more excited about, Ghosts of Yotai, or Ghosts of Yote, or however the heck you pronounce it. I have no idea. The manager at GameStop had no idea either, but that should be a friggin' amazing game right there. I'm really looking forward to that one. I really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Pokemon does sell really, really well just by nature of being Pokemon there. Plus, quadruple A games is funny because of Skull and Bones. Oh, Skull and Bones. One of the few games I started a playthrough of on this channel but was too boring for me to consider finishing. It was absolutely unreal. Pokemon TV is making a return. Pokemon channel. Oh, because it's the Pokemon Presents, like camera tracking there.
I'm Chris Brown from the Pokémon Company International.
Turn up my own volume.
Today, I'm excited to share details about the 2025 Pokemon
World
Championships.
We'd start out with that because it's
California from August 15th
that's what we start out a lot Presents with. I'm actually wearing my Pokemon Championships 2024 shirt, as one can see here. This is what I decided to wear today.
Pokemon Violet video games, the Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Go.
Not because I was there, but because Guzma was there. Was the case. I was not there in New Orleans for the championships.
Let's take a first look at
I even have it's somewhere around here. Oh, it's on my Zoroa back there right now. I could have been wearing my the 2024 World Championships hat. You kind of see it right here on the edge of the screen on Zoroa's head there. Are you ready for Raiju to be publicly disowned? I'm so ready there, Lancer. Hope things are going well today.
Incredible prizes, including the coveted Champions line. Alongside our competitors, we expect more than 20,000 Pokemon fans to come celebrate together and enjoy tons of new activities. Each attendee,
yeah, they seem to be pretty popular events. Hug the weed cat. Embrace weed.
Pokemon Violet video games. During the weekend,
wait, I wasn't paying attention. Is there a special... I forget what that is called. Is it just called Tentacool still? Or did it have a different regional name? I think it was just called Tentacool. Were they releasing some sort of special Tentacool as part of championships there? Yeah, I did see in the Discord server the bingo card there. I had a little bit of a look-see. I could pull it up here. this.
On this island, we want the
Oh, Pokemon Concierge. That. I've still never seen it. Ah! Why does it say volume down? Okay. YouTube is perfect, I guess.
Haru, it's all up to you. Make our team proud.
Are you okay?
Thanks, I'm fine.
But yeah, I mean, who knows, maybe they'll surprise me with a PMD that would actually 1000% care about. Big doubt, though, they would still find some way to mess it up. I mean, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX I generally liked, but I thought it was a little bit wonky. Mostly with its rare quality system. If they give us Mystery Dungeon, I'll eat my flex tape. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I can hope for, is honestly Mystery Dungeon. Either a new Mystery Dungeon game, or like an Explorers remake. And honestly, I forget who brought it up, but someone brought up an interesting point in one of the recent streams about, oh my god, it suddenly got super loud. I gotta turn down my own volume here. About if there was a new Mystery Dungeon game made, they would have to put in so many Pokemon that presumably they'd be making models specifically for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games for. So, I do wonder about the possibility of a new Mystery Dungeon game when there's so many Pokemon. That, or they just have it be like one of those Pokemon spin-off games that doesn't include all the Pokemon. Or something like that, or whatever they do. Because you can actually make the arguments about them having to redo the models, as some people would put in my Pokemon essays in regards to the main games, which isn't applicable considering they reuse the models for that, but for the Mystery Dungeon games, they'd probably have to be using new models, if they're not just upscaling a lot of the ones from the 3DS there. But still potentially be changing some ones from the mainline games to make them work in the Mystery Dungeon format, especially if they use a very different style like they did with Rescue Team DX there. Ah, all the sniffles. So maybe something like an Explorers remake would be more likely, so that they can keep it just up to Gen 4 and new evolutions / pre-evolutions. I don't know. It's just a idea there. Yeah, it's a. They've shown it in like several presents, like for the past couple of years. I thought I would touch a modern Pokemon when the fuck was there a Netflix show? The past couple of years now. This might be a couple seasons in at this point because I remember seeing Pokemon Concierge Toad is being added for the past few directs here. But yeah, put Explorers of Scout remake on the bingo sheet because it, in my opinion, is just as likely as Pokemon brand condoms. Yeah, I mean, we'll see here. It's just a dude panting, just like the Guzzlord screaming from the Pokemon anime. The Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu. Oh, that is not where I thought that was going, coming 2027. Oh, I'm so hyped for that. I would have been more hyped for Shaun the Sheep Pokemon Edition. Or as we called it in German, Shaun Dash Off. I remember watching it in German. Like elementary school classes. Yeah, it's suddenly a lot more quiet than the previous segment. That was just like blasting your ears. Wait, about Pokepark Kanto? Wait, is this like an actual park that's being made? Because I was like, wait, Pokepark? There hasn't been a new title since the Wii. I mean, the only Pokepark titles were on the Wii. Being Pokepark and Pokepark 2. I remember I 100%ed Pokepark 1 while I was renting it from Blockbuster. Just date myself a little bit there. Is it just me or is it like super quiet now? Does nobody know how to level their audio? Just like 90% of video games?
Lots of support from many people. So
I gotta play all my video games with subtitles because no one knows how to level their audio. And it seems like it might be the same for this Pokemon Presents. Don't know what it is with the gaming industry in general and so much trouble with audio leveling.
On a world where Pokemon truly exist.
But yeah. Yeah, if only it was with your bingo sheet there.
Pokemon live within the forest. When you step inside,
so,
you'll find Pokemon playing together in groups.
This is an actual park that they're making in Kanto, Japan, and
I want to broaden people's idea of how Pokemon live and interact with one another by letting them experience a world with Pokemon in it. A place where we can tell visitors, welcome to the world of Pokemon.
As you enter,
You'll be greeted by the diverse landscape of this rich.
So is there just gonna be a bunch of
reside.
models or animatronics or something like that around?
And trainers gather, the town of your dreams.
And it's gonna be made just about as well as the quality of the games, and then so they're gonna start malfunctioning. It's gonna start turning into FNAF.
Here, encounters with a variety of Pokemon await you.
So they're gonna be like models? Question mark. You know, yesterday I was watching a video on a theme park, and here it is, a Pokemon theme park. Yeah, I was not expecting that. But they said it was like an update on Pokepark, so I guess it was announced before. I just never heard about it. Grand opening planned for early 2026. Okay. Yeah, FNAF origin story.
A number of other announcements to share.
Ah! Forgive all my sniffles. It's one of those mornings, I guess. Just about to make a joke about the animatronics getting a bit quirky at night, and you beat me to it. Oh, great. Eternatus, the Pokemon that I still don't understand. What the heck even is it? Like, why does it look the way it does? Why does it become, like, a giant hand? That was just never explained in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I feel like it's still never been explained to this day. Like, unless it was explained in something else like the anime, I don't know. What the heck was the deal with the Darkest Day and Eternatus and all that? That is genuinely one of the things that I'm still most confused about in regards to Pokemon to this day. I don't get it. This, Pokemon Master Sex again? Only the greatest Pokemon hashtag ever. I would presume. I presume that's what this is. Carmen and Sinishta. Yeah, I remember them having the hashtag Pokemon Master Sex in this game coming out right when I was working for an IT company. Ah, the Flying Dutchman. But Lapras is more menacing. Oh, Pokemon Cafe Remix. Yes. Ah, I better start playing Pokemon Cafe Remix. They added the Pirate Lapras and piratey themed Pokemon here. But yeah. It turns into a hand because it symbolically represents Game Freak giving the finger to the franchise as a whole. Yeah, it probably does. You can receive an 11 times express delivery ticket by logging in each day. Wow. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot Pokemon Sleep exists. Pokemon Cafe Remix Final Match Edition. Ah, yes. But yeah. I guess to kind of throw you off and show that, it's just the theming of Lapras there. This does not get me excited to sleep. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Discover a new area, Amber Cavern. Okay, well, I mean... Is Pokemon Unite really 4 years old already? Man, how time flies. Are people still like, well, I mean, I already know the answer. There's a lot of people that are still actively playing it. Do they still only have one map? I'm just looking at this trailer and seeing the one same map. Ah, a new type of battle, but it still looks like the exact same map. But yeah, dude, I could go sleep in a can and get scabies. Fuck yeah, hell yeah, man. I remember about Pokemon Sleep because people making jokes about sleeping with Pokemon. What, in the sense of, like, Pokemon Master Sex, or what we talking about here? Yeah, Mega Evolution cards coming out since they're bringing Mega Evolution back for the new Legends game and all that. But will they actually try to continue Mega Evolution past this game? Or is this just going to be a very brief phase of Mega Evolution being brought back for this one specific game? So they can market Mega Evolution in the TCG and stuff there, and then mainline games are going to go right back to no more Megas. I wonder. Guess we shall see. Pikachu lights. Ah. Connect all the bulbs with one line. There's a new puzzle game. This looks like some sort of game that I would have played not branded like this in elementary school on that, oh, I forget what the name of that one website was, but the, Pokemon Friends. Make a path for the water. But that one website that had a bunch of, like, puzzle games, like, I think it was called Bloxworks or something like that? I don't remember. Where it's like, you had a, 1x3 rectangle, and you had to turn it in different ways to eventually get it to fall down the hole at the end of the course. There was a website that had a whole bunch of games like that I'd be playing in elementary school, that everyone in class would be playing in elementary school. Looks like one of those kinds of games that you'd be playing there. So it's just a whole bunch of different puzzles. It literally looks like that website felt. Except I'd rather be playing that website there. Only people with 400 IQ can beat this. Only the top 2%.
Solve puzzles and get your daily aha moment. Use the plush you get from solving puzzles to decorate your in-game plush rooms.
Hey look, there's more decorative potential in this freemium game than there was in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and the, in the secret bases. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah. Yep, it really is.
Is a puzzle game where players enjoy the thrill of
The whole 20 minutes of mobile game ads might be a meme, but it's also true.
You play is a chance to untangle your next
And the mix of like Pokemon World Championships and the whole real life theme park. Outside of that, it's all been mobile apps. Plus Unite, that is both a mobile app and Switch app. Switch game. Whatever the heck.
And give it a try.
Yeah, apparently this is already out. Apparently it was released like just before the presentation. I'd heard. Haven't watched Pokemon Directs like at all, but god, how do people stomach watching this? Yeah, this is how they go. Yeah, I already briefly tried it out, and I mean, they're still essentially the same games, but the frame rate is actually good.
We hope you try visiting the Paldea region on Nintendo Switch 2 as well.
I already did, and that's good enough for me. Stomach it through shitposting, fair enough. All pay-to-win games and mobile ads. Yeah, I mean... Whoa, it's terraforms of those weird legendaries there.
A new Terra Raid battle event series will kick off in...
And they always announce, like, new Terra Raid events for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet during these presentations.
These Terra Raid battle events will feature Shiny Wochian, Shiny
Oh, this is for shiny versions of those legendaries there. Eh.
Just winning the Terra Raid battles won't be enough to get these 4 Pokemon.
Ugh.
You'll be able to...
Holy fucking Terra Raid, won't she? And let's fucking go! Right after John Wildcat asks who gets excited by any of this. That was like a Squidward SpongeBob moment right there. This is what that was.
Pokemon Mass Outbreak events will also be occurring at the same time.
Ah, Mass Outbreak events. Ah, yes.
And that's not all.
Ah, why knows?
We're also giving away a tracksuit apparel item. So we hope you can enjoy adventuring in the Paldea region.
Tracksuit! Wait, is that actually something different for the torso? Wait, there was only like 4 different options for the torso in-game, just like the different seasonal outfits of school uniform. Are you telling me that, like, what is it, like 2 years later, 3 years later? When did Scarlet and Violet come out again? Was it like 2022? They finally added a new torso option during some random direct, I guess shortly after the Switch 2 launch. Is this that, yeah, the Pokemon Champions thingamabob. The thing that's just focused on being a battle simulator, so they actually compete with Pokemon Showdown.
And love from the Pokemon series on your Nintendo Switch or mobile device. You can invite your previous Pokemon partners to join the action by linking with Pokemon Home, or you can find new partners to battle alongside you right away.
Of course, incorporate with Pokemon Home. So if you want to be using your team, you have to pay a subscription fee to use this game.
Pokemon to your team to battle alongside you. It's up to you which Pokemon to choose.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they never did something like this sooner, considering how prevalent Pokemon Showdown is.
Then it's finally time.
Can't wait for the Showdown DMCA. Yeah, so they're gonna release their version, and then they're gonna hit Showdown with a DMCA. But yeah, I watched a video a couple days ago where someone said, who even remembers Wo-Chien? Good question. But yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll cease and desist Pokemon Showdown. And then they'll try to bring everyone over to Pokemon Champions, considering they'll have this now. Oh my god, there's gotta be a way to change that flooring. Some people might want to go over to Pokemon Showdown just because, okay, that's more reasonable. Because that floor was the most obnoxious thing I think I've ever seen. Yeah, usually it would be earlier, that is right, so maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, so it is very much meant to be the Pokemon Showdown competitor. And again, completely surprised that they never did this sooner. But for training, you do have to spend a finite amount of points, unlike Showdown, where it's like,
Pokemon Champion.
you can just make whatever the heck you want to make. So I guess there is like a spendable currency in this game. I wonder if you could pay real world money for it, or you just have to like play to amass points to be able to put points into your Pokemon to make your builds. So like,
Pokemon Legends ZA
last up, so there's nothing else.
Please have a look at this video.
So Pokemon Showdown is still gonna be the superior experience, is the case here. So I mean, do they want to be a Showdown competitor or not, if they're just gonna make a worse experience? Well, look, I mean, like the Pokemon and the ground, it looks fine. Well, not spectacular out of this world, but it's fine. It gets the job done. But the building textures are the things that really throw me off. Dude, it's Legend Zaza. It is. Look how tall our dude is. I wonder if this is gonna be like Pokemon X or Y, where the male player just gets shafted in terms of customization options, and they all go to the female character. Like, you actually got shafted so hard if you played the male trainer in X and Y. It was so sad. Music sounding interesting here. Zanza. He who plays the Pokemon Legends ZA will eventually become Zanza. Pokemon Legends ZA is Zanza. Zanza is Pokemon Legends ZA. The two are one and the same. Oh yeah, there is new Mega Evolutions. Look, the high NTR in this game. They totally are gonna have Zanza. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, and then a bunch of Megas that we already knew. So yeah, revealing there are gonna for sure be some new Megas.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
But yeah.
We'd like to introduce this game's new story.
Are you buying the Switch 1 version of Legends ZA or forking the money for the Switch 2 version? I'm picking up the Switch 2 version just so it's like, I have the most optimized version just as the one that I always have on my shelf. But part of me was debating about getting the Switch 1 version just because Team MZ, as I talked about during like some previous presents, do you necessarily want to see the highest resolution of this game when things like the billings look the way they did? Like I've mentioned before, when I played Skyward Sword HD, I made the argument that Skyward Sword HD looked worse than the original Skyward Sword, just considering none of the textures were touched up. They did a little bit of touching up on some of the models, like Link's model, so it's not like nothing was done, but next to nothing was done. So, when the textures were designed for 480p graphics, and you're suddenly bumping them up into, like, whether it's 720p or 1080p, I assume 720p, without actually changing any of the textures, it means that a lot of graphical inconsistencies and bits of weirdness were very clearly visible that weren't visible in the original game, because they were designed for 480p graphics. So you can look along paths where right on the edges of paths you have like lines where textures don't match up, and I never noticed that in the original Wii like 480p graphics. The 480p graphics very much masked that, but bumping it up into HD, it suddenly is blaringly obvious, these graphical inconsistencies standing out right in your face, because they were masked by the 480p graphics before. So when they bumped it up into HD and marketed it as Skyward Sword HD but didn't actually change any of the textures, I would argue that it made the ugliness of the world that was hidden by the 480p graphics blatantly visible, and then the game looked worse. So I was thinking about that for the perspective of Legends ZA, where it's like, if the world is just gonna look the same but they're bumping up the graphics here, I presume the graphics are bumped up a little bit, maybe it's just frame rate, I don't know. Will it necessarily be looking better? Would the Switch 1 version be the one that looks better? I'm gonna have to wait until this game comes out and like compare gameplay of like comparing Switch 1 to Switch 2 out of curiosity. But for now I was like, you know what? I'll just pick up the Switch 2 version and stuff. I had a lot of people in my Pokemon BDSP video essay accuse me of, because I didn't get the day 1 patch, I went out of my way to make the game seem so much worse than it actually was. But it's like, no, those glitches that I ran into were the same kind of glitches that everyone else was running into that got the day 1 patch. It was just, I couldn't go to the post-game content. I needed to confirm that that was indeed the case, that it was patched in literally all of post-game. But if I'm getting the Switch 2 edition, no one can accuse me of going out of my way to play the worst version of the game, I guess. But yeah, so we'll see what this game is like at its best, I guess. But yeah, for real, I found it more fun to play the female character because you get to play dress up in addition to everything else. Yeah, as opposed to the male trainer where you just can't. But yeah, get both and stream the Switch 1 version. Yeah, I'm not made of money. And I'm also still looking for a job here. I'm applying to like several positions daily. And the job market's insane right now. Haven't heard back from a single place, and it's extremely demoralizing, man. But yeah, do you want to see a shit game or a shit game but the shitness is hidden behind a lower res? Yeah, so would the Switch 1 look better potentially? Yeah, something that I never thought I would see in this day and age, in the year of our Lord 2025. There's a new Mega Evolutions. But yeah, it's 720p when in your hand and 1080p when you're talking. Interesting way to phrase it here. But yeah, the textures look high-res, just really, really, really bland. Yeah, that's fair there. But yeah, except trees and bushes still, but of course. Well, the non-day 1 patch version does have more glitches, it's just that the day 1 patch is still glitchy. Yeah, fair there. Man, the, wait. Hold on. Man, is this ever ugly. This looks actually really quite nice. Man, does this one ever look ugly. Just for, like, the big text Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Nintendo's obsession with having, like, the super large bar across the top. And all this text here includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. Wait, so the thing that... Wait, hold on a hot second here. You're telling me that the cartridge that's in here isn't even, like, the Switch 2 version of Legend ZA. It's literally just the same cartridge that's in here, but it includes, like, the Switch 2 edition upgrade already included? What the hell? I figured I'd get the Switch 2 edition figuring, like, hey, there's more stuff on the cartridge, there's more sale value. I don't have to allocate space on my internal storage, on my console storage for that upgrade. But no, it's literally just a Switch 1 edition cartridge, and the upgrade that make it a Switch 2 edition game is download only. They're literally doing a BDSP thing where literally all of the post-game was put behind the day 1 patch, putting more of the burden on the consumer for allocating that storage. They couldn't even manufacture bigger cartridges to... Okay, October 16th is the release date. If I wasn't a content creator, there's no way that I'd be buying this game. Like, even if I was intrigued to play it gameplay-wise, after being ticked off at them doing that with BDSP and seeing that they're doing that again with Legend ZA, where it's just like, oh yeah, why would we manufacture the bigger cartridge sizes when we can instead just put the burden on the consumer? All the cartridges are the same. It's just one includes a download code for the thing that actually makes it Switch 2 edition. You got to allocate space on your own device for that.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
You know, usually I don't go into these presentations with all that much in the way of expectations, and people complain about, like, Nintendo Directs or Pokémon Presents, like, man, that sucked. I'm usually like, whatever. If they didn't have that much stuff to announce, they didn't have that much stuff to announce. But I'm gonna be frank. Yeah, I think that was a really bad presentation there. But yeah. Dude, Mega Gardevoir, let's go! Okay, that bit is getting old. Yeah, I mean, I could always go into GameStop at some point and, oh, recommendations sometimes. I could always go into GameStop and just buy the Switch 1 edition. Like, hold on. Is there a big difference in prices there? Because it might even be more cost-effective to get the Switch 1 edition. Because for those that haven't seen my recent video essay on Switch 2 prices, when it comes to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it is actually more expensive to buy the Switch 2 edition than it is to buy the Switch 1 edition and then the Switch 2 edition upgrade. It's more expensive for Breath of the Wild by $5 or by $10 for Tears of the Kingdom. At least here in Canada. It's only a difference of like a penny in the US, but they made it like $10 different in the US. Here, let's get some music going or something or other. Do I have like my DVD stream playlist somewhere here? Yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and play this on shuffle. Hello, Reggie Pup. How's it going there? But yeah, that was an ass mobile game montage. Sure seems like. But yeah, I can play the Switch 1 version of the Switch 2 game card anyways, seems like, by just not installing the Switch 2 edition stuff there. I'm confused on this point. I heard Nintendo's own Switch 2 game cards do have DLC on the cart. Don't know. I'll have to look into that there. Like, what the cases for the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom stuff is, since those are out now. I was legit expecting one last thing. They said it was the last thing there, but yeah, that did feel kind of underwhelming there. Hold on, let's see here. So, if I just go to, like, Nintendo official site here, Canada. If I look up Breath of the Wild, for example, check this out. So, if here in Canada you get the Nintendo Switch version of Breath of the Wild, you're paying $80. If you then get the upgrade pack, that's an additional $15, that brings you up to $95. You buy the Switch 2 edition, it's $100. It is $5 more expensive to buy the Switch 2 edition, because Nintendo doesn't know how the hell a bundle works, where a bundle is supposed to be cheaper than the sum of its parts. I mean, with Nintendo, they've shown that oftentimes their bundles, they make at least the exact same. Like, just look at Pokémon bundles, where it just costs the exact same as buying 2 Pokémon games on their own, where, where you get the bundle of both of them. But here, more expensive. Or if we're to look at Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom. Let's have a look at the prices here. The Nintendo Switch edition of Tears of the Kingdom here in Canada, wow, if it loads there, is $90. Plus the upgrade pack. Why is it lagging so much? Whoops. Plus the upgrade pack is $15. That brings you up to a total of $105 if you're buying, like, the Switch edition and the upgrade pack. Nintendo Switch 2 edition, $115. You are paying $10 more for a box that looks a little lamer. Like, and in my video essay, I'd argued that I guess maybe it's the sin of convenience for, like, maybe you have more stuff on the cartridge and then you have, like, a little bit more sale value in the future when, you know, the servers are taken down. You can't download that stuff anymore, and then all that data is actually on the cartridge. But maybe that's not the case, or maybe it's just something they're doing with Pokémon. Oh man, I'm sick today. Do they have on the main Pokémon page here, Pokémon Legends ZA, did they have the prices posted? Oh. Oh, okay. So, here in Canada, the standard game price for Nintendo Switch games has always been $80. That's the way that they've had it. It looks like the Nintendo Switch version of Pokémon Legends ZA is $85. They're bringing the price up this time. Upgrade pack, $15. Nintendo Switch 2 edition, $100. Okay, so it is the same in this case, just because, like, the standard price is bumped up by $5. So it seems like upgrade pack they're keeping consistent at $15, along with, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But it's the equivalent of the Switch 2 price, just because they ramped up the price for, like, the regular edition here. Is this a Interstellar piano cover, it sounds like, is playing in the background? Which is cool and all, but it's probably also going to be copyrighted. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do this Sensei Kantian Route 120 remix. But yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so it looks like price is being ramped up there. God, Mega Dragonite is so lame. Yeah, it's not for me there. But yeah, well, I just saw a Pal World Dragonite knockoff, a stadium game without the offline appeal, the basic mobile games, and an hard match show that is the only thing that got interested to me. Hard match show? I don't actually know what that is. That was genuinely the worst presentation I've ever seen. Then again, would I really want the mobile game montage to be longer? Be cool if there was something that wasn't a mobile game that outside of Legends ZA announced. I mean, there was always the real life park that wasn't a mobile game, and Pokemon Concierge that wasn't a mobile game. But I mean, like, a game that wasn't a mobile game. But suffice to say, I was impressed for a total of 8 seconds. That was not zero. Interested in the Surfetched and Pichu show. Ardman 1 is good. I don't know what Ardman is / means. Be honest, I was too busy shitposting in chat. I wasn't even paying attention to Dragonite. Where are the guys who made Shaun the Sheep and Wallace and Grump? Oh, I got you. So, like, the stop motion stuff there. Switch 2 compatibility information. Untested compatibility will be tested at a later date. Well, also, if you want to be technical, it is still cheaper to get the Nintendo Switch and upgrade pack than the Switch 2 edition. It's cheaper by a penny. I still don't understand what it is with, like, Nintendo prices, where when you're releasing something as a bundle, it should be cheaper than the sum of its parts. But Nintendo doesn't get that. Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 Edition features improved performance, enhanced resolution, and smoother frame rate, meaning Lumio City is now more vibrant than ever. Live the life of a Pokemon trainer at Lumio City, enhanced for the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Lumio City, a home for people and Pokemon alike. Here, thanks to an urban redevelopment plan driven by Quasartico Inc., the lush greenery of verdant parks and natural vistas intermingles with facilities using the latest cutting-edge technology. A lot has changed here since the days of the Pokemon X and Y games. Choose Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile, again, like the most unhinged starter options, as your first partner Pokemon, and then set off on a grand adventure. Your journey will take you to all manner of sights in the streets around Prism Tower, including shops, restaurants, and places called Wild Zones, where Pokemon roam free. Yeah, most Pokemon games are like, explore the entire region and see like all sorts of natural environments. Here, it's explore this one city, see the sights in the streets around the tower, including shops, restaurants, and places where you can find wild Pokemon. Oh, that gets me hyped. As you catch, train, and battle Pokemon, there will be plenty of people to meet too, like AZ, the enigmatic owner of Hotel Z. And with performance upgrades for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, you'll experience Lumio City like never before, with enhanced resolution and frame rates. Catch, battle, and Mega Evolve, all in real time. Step onto the battlefield and command your Pokemon directly. There are no turns. For the first time in the Pokemon RPG series, trainers and their Pokemon can both move around in real-time battles, and your Pokemon will unleash their moves when you tell them to. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out here. Strategically swapping out your Pokemon and accounting for each move's timing and area of effect will greatly help you in this new style of battle. Once you obtain a Mega Ring and a Pokemon's Mega Stone, you can harness the power of Mega Evolution. Temporarily unleash your Pokemon's hidden energy to transform its appearance, greatly enhance its abilities, and perhaps even change its type. Mega Evolution might just be the key to overcoming your toughest challenges. Compete in the ZA Royale and try to become the strongest Pokemon trainer in town. There's no period at the end of this sentence, even though there is at the end of most here. I never thought that something like that would slip past Nintendo here. You're invited to join the ZA Royale, a competition for Pokemon trainers to test their skills. Wait, try to become the strongest trainer in town. This feels like it was taken out of this. There's the quack sound effect redeemed. To test their skills and determine who's the strongest, each night a battle zone for the competition will appear. Prepare yourself by spending the day in wild zones, catching and training Pokemon, then venture into the battle zone and take on other trainers. Be strategic and complete bonus card challenges as you battle to speed up your climb from rank Z to rank A. Reach the top and you might just have a wish granted. Can I wish for better building textures? Already have Pokemon Legends ZA for the Nintendo Switch? Purchase the upgrade pack for your Nintendo Switch 2 system. If you already have the game for Nintendo Switch, you can purchase the upgrade pack separately to enjoy the improved performance, enhanced resolution, and higher frame rates of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So it's a 10GB game, it looks like. But yeah, let's just see here. Check their official website, like the Pokemon page there. Because last I heard, Artman actually ran out of the clay that they use for claymation when the company they got the clay from shut down. I remember hearing about that as well. Again, I was a bit too busy shitposting in chat. But yeah, explore the entire city. We can see the whole part, like street, park, and building for the low price of $70. That right. Quack was more amusing than that entire 30 minutes. I mean, I could look at the, here, if we just go to, like, Pokemon page. What? Yes, I'm a human. I hope. Is there not, like, a search bar? Oh, it's right here. I haven't been on the Pokemon page in forever. Pokemon Legends. Wow. Video game here. Story of Pokemon Legends ZA is set in Lumio City, where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to shape the city into a place that belongs to both people and Pokemon. After arising in Lumios, players will befriend a Pokemon that will become their first partner Pokemon, Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile, thus beginning their journey as a Pokemon trainer. What do you mean, players to be announced? Well, it sounds like we have an Undertale remix now. Yeah, so there's all of this stuff. Stay at the hotel, Mega Evolution. Enter the ZA Royale. The official Pokemon Legends ZA website. Oh, that's outside of this. So this is the official website. Wasn't I on this during the last presentation? Arriving 16th of October. I can add that to my game schedule thingamabob here. Isn't that the same month of Ghost of Yotai? The game that I was just mentioning that I pre-ordered at the same time that I pre-ordered this game? Yeah, Ghost of Yotai comes out before that point. And that's, here. I have, this here. Here. Boop. And then October 16th. Oh, in case anyone forgot, because I sure did if I didn't have it written down here. This Thursday, there's the Nintendo Switch 2 expansion from Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's a good thing I write these down because I would forget them. That's part of the main reason why I have, like, the game schedule channel here for, like, upcoming playthroughs and their release dates. Because I would forget otherwise, and it's helpful for me to write it down. So I check this channel a lot and see what's coming up here. So, yeah, it looks like they're coming out the same month. So maybe when I go pick up Ghost of Yotai, I wonder if I should switch my pre-order to a regular edition of Pokemon Legends ZA. Wow. Because, I mean, I honestly thought that the Switch 2 upgrade would be on the cartridge, but I guess that was a little bit too much to ask of Game Freak. So hold on. Where was the thing here again? Yeah, this. But yeah. And seriously, I will be watching that Sirfetch'd and Pichu show on release. Genuinely invested on how they'll handle a Pokemon show. Yeah, we'll see here. So you're assigned to a guild, probably non-consensual, and do odd jobs like Police Simulator, poach Pokemon legally, and do Battle Royale. Ah, yes. Can't wait for that. The fact you need to have the servers online to even get the download for a physical Switch 2 version edition is just absurd. One day you will lose that because fuck you. Yep, if it's already on your console, then great, you can still play the Switch 2 upgrades. But here I was thinking that the advantage of buying the Nintendo Switch 2 edition was that you have like a Nintendo Switch 2 edition cartridge. It has more resale value because eventually the day will come that the servers go down. Like, do I have my 3DS on my desk? I have my 3DS around here somewhere, I don't know where. Like, if I want to get stuff from the eShop for the 3DS nowadays, I don't think I can. I don't know if you can still download updates that you've already purchased or if they took that down. I think they took down the eShop, but you could still download like your purchases for like a year, but I think that's down now where you can't download anything for 3DS or Wii U, I think. I could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if that's not already the case, it will be the case one day. So one day, if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 and you purchase the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Pokemon Legends ZA because you want to play it, you can't even play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Legends ZA. If you don't have that update that turns it into a Switch 2 edition, you just can't ever have that. It's forever going to be a Switch 1 edition. So, like, what the heck? So, yeah. So if it is literally just download code, hold on. Can I? No, I can't zoom in like that. Here's some PSMD music. Here I was getting thumbnails for the Donkey Kong Bonanza series is what's currently on Paint there. If we can have a look-see here. Includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Upgrade Pack. Upgrade Pack also available separately. For details, visit that. Includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Upgrade Pack. I mean, maybe it's on the cartridge? But this makes it sound like it's a download code, is what it sounds like. Upgrade Pack also available separately. So yeah, even while, if it is just like a download code, then even while the servers are still up, if you played the Switch 2 edition of Legends ZA and decided like, alright, I think I'm gonna sell this, and you sold it to someone else, you will have already redeemed the code, and they can't use it. So they have to buy a code separately, as if they just got the regular edition there. Is that how it works? I gotta look into how it works with Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, for sure. Because it's not exactly clear, is it? But I mean, even just in terms of box arts, like, this is so much cleaner and nicer here. And technically, you save a penny for buying this and then getting the upgrade pack separately. So when I go into GameStop to get Ghost of Yotai, I am tempted to cancel my pre-order of the Switch 2 edition and switch it to a pre-order of the Switch 1 edition. Because, I mean, realistically, I'm spending 1 penny extra for this. The box art looks better of this. And just in case it's just like a download code thing there anyway, then I have the option to just download the upgrade whenever I want here anyway, like I would with a download code. I don't know. But yeah, let's see here. So the Japan ones is updated in terms of like... Updated for what? Like the stuff with that presentation, do you mean? Or you just mean like, I'm scrolling and stuff like this is happening? It's one of those crazy website thingamabobs. Well. Sure, translate, I guess. Oh my god, that... That's jarring, isn't it? Well, but yeah, okay, I misread that comment. I assumed you meant that the Japanese version has the Switch 2 upgrade built in. Yeah, it does seem kind of unclear. I'm really not sure if it is inherently built in there. Because if it is inherently built in there, I would want the Switch 2 edition. There's more inherently on the cartridge. It's built in. There's less that I have to allocate on my own system storage. But if it is just like a download code that comes with the case, then why would you ever buy that and not this? And then you can just decide, hey, do I even like this game in the first place? And if I do, then hey, then maybe I get the upgrade pack, like as a typical kind of consumer there. But, I mean, realistically, as a consumer, considering that it is basically the same price, a penny more expensive to get the Switch 2 edition, what if you don't even like the game? As a consumer, why would you ever realistically buy the Switch 2 edition and not the Switch 1 edition, just to see if you like the game first and foremost, and then if you decide that you like it and you want to play with performance enhancements, then you get the upgrade pack? Why would you just like full send get the Switch 2 edition when it's no cheaper to do that because Nintendo doesn't know how bundle prices work? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm sure the Nintendo Switch 2 edition will probably sell a whole lot, but there's genuinely no point to buy it over the Switch edition and upgrade pack unless it is built into the cartridge. That would be the only selling point, is that there's more value with the cartridge, less that you have to allocate with your own storage, and it's going to have like more sell value when the servers eventually go down by having like an actual Switch 2 edition cartridge. So it'll be better for like longevity to have the Switch 2 edition. But if that's not the case, then I was about to say, did I accidentally close the Japanese one there? But yeah, I checked the 3DS eShop recently. It's interesting how pretty much all the functionality is there except the ability to actually buy stuff. You can still look up game profiles there. Oh, really? Huh. The used copy of this game is basically just an overpriced Switch 1 game if the download code is single use. If it is a download code. Again, it's really not clear, is it? Is it a download code? Includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. Like, that makes it sound very much like it's not a Switch 2 edition cartridge. Like, it won't be one of those red cartridges that you get in one of these. That it very much sounds like it'll just be a Switch 1 cartridge and then probably a download code. Like, it's not entirely clear, but maybe they put this on the package for if you do resell a Switch 2 edition there, where it says that includes these both, but now you've bought this used, and clearly it's already been used up. But you see on the front package, upgrade pack also available separately. So you realize as the person that just bought it off of like eBay or Kijiji or something like that, like, oh, the upgrade pack is available separately. I guess I have to go purchase the upgrade pack separately. Like, why else would they include this little text that says upgrade pack also available separately? Like, why would somebody that already owns the upgrade pack with this edition need to know, unless that's a note for anyone that bought it as part of a resell? Like, I don't get it. Scan the QR code. Do you think that'll be high enough resolution? I might need to get a higher resolution shot of the of it for it to work. I can try like this, but I doubt at that resolution it's gonna work. I can try here. Ah, all the sniffles. Nah, that's not gonna work. It's way too low res. But yeah, let's see here. If it was actually on the cartridge, what the fuck would be the point of that disclaimer? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Nintendo really trying to kill the used game market, huh? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's nothing new to Nintendo. And just when I thought Nintendo was being more transparent with what is and what isn't on the cartridge, what with the whole game key card stuff. Yeah, I have no idea what is on this cartridge. At least it's not a game key card, but like, what the hell? Like, it seems like Nintendo themselves wouldn't go full send with game keycards for their own games, but I said in my prices on Nintendo Switch 2 games video essay that Nintendo very clearly kind of wants to lean towards that with some of their games, what with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, not including any of the post-game on the actual cartridge, since they wanted to save money on cartridge manufacturing costs, manufacture the smaller cartridges that are even cheaper, and just put the burden of providing the space for all the post-game onto the consumer by disguising it under the day one patch, which I'm surprised there wasn't more outrage about. In fact, the only like source that I really saw talking about that was my own video essay. I saw like basically no real internet uproar about them just allocating all of the post-game onto your own storage rather than putting it on the cartridge. Like, that should be something that people are in absolute uproar about. And if that's what they're doing with the Switch 2 edition here, where it's not even a Switch 2 edition game, it's just the Switch 1, but you have to provide the space for the upgrade pack, then what the hell is the point of buying this and not buying that? And like, what the hell for used games in the future? So there'll come a time where the Switch 2 version of Pokemon Legends ZA is just unplayable unless you already have that on like your own storage already. How does it work, man? But yeah, I'll just play the Final Fantasy Tactics remake. Fair enough there. Nintendo want more money. I mean, that is true there. There's also the question of if you prefer the black coloring of the Switch 1 game cards versus the red shell of the Switch 2 game cards. Oh, I guess there's that. If this cartridge even is red, because if this is just a Switch 1 cartridge in there, but it includes that, if it really does include the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade, you might just open this and get like the regular black shelled cartridge is what I'm thinking might potentially be the case. But yeah, I mean, that's still Game Freak. Game Freak does its own thing. Game Freak greedy as all fuck. Yeah, it could well be the case there. And now it makes sense why Nintendo is anti-stop killing games. Yeah, I mean, can you see here? Like with the translation thingamabob here. I have no idea. Is it on the cartridge? Hold on. Is Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition a Switch 2 edition cartridge or a Switch 1 edition and download code? This is such a long sentence. I might not get anything specific for typing in something this long. AI overview. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild is a physical cartridge that contains both the original Nintendo Switch game and the upgrade pack for the Nintendo Switch 2 with no need for a separate download code, according to Google AI. So, physical cartridge that contains both. And what does it say on these for reference? If it, maybe we're in a whole hoopla about nothing. Okay, well, I can't zoom in here, it won't let me there. Includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. Upgrade pack also available separately. Okay, so there's the same disclaimer for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe we're going on this whole hoopla about nothing and it's verifiably false right now. Are Nintendo Switch 2 editions on the cart? Been trying to find this for a bit now, but I keep finding conflicting information. For these Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, I assume Metroid and Kirby down the line, is the actual Switch 2 version on the cartridge? Like if I put my Switch in airplane mode, pop this in, will it have the Switch 2 version? Well, even if it didn't have it built in, I assume you would download it onto local storage there, and, you know, or I guess he's just saying, like, in terms of if there's no internet connectivity. I would love to upgrade when I can find these cheaper in a few years, but I don't want to waste my money if the Switch 2 version's on the cart, then it downloads the Switch 2 version. Also, like, still, why the heck would you buy these when it's still cheaper to just buy, like, the Switch 1 version and buy the upgrade there? Yes, well, technically it contains the Switch 1 version and upgrade pack, but why the Switch 2 cartridge for these games are backward compatible with the Switch 1. Wait, so, is this on the cartridge? That didn't really answer the question here. Yeah, but Breath of the Wild is not containing any of the DLC as a separate purchase. Yeah. Glad you asked that, because I'm curious about it too. Does anyone actually answer it? Be clear, when you do the Switch 2 upgrade, your Switch 1 effectively becomes a key card. How, what? Hold on. But yeah. Fucking legalese download code, bruh. Is it just a download code? This whole thing about the download codes remind me to redeem the download code I got for Final Fantasy X-2 on Nintendo Switch, because I had the 10-2 card for a long time, but I never downloaded 10-2 until now because I forgot to download. Wait, is 10-2 a separate download there? I own Final Fantasy X and 10-2 for the Nintendo Switch on my shelf back there. Hold on. Here's a way that we can probably find out quickly. Let's just look up on YouTube Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition unboxing. Let's see what the color of the cartridge is. How about if someone unboxes it? This should give us like a definitive answer, right? Let's look at Poppin' Games here. Let's just see someone open this thing up. See what the color of the cartridge is. Because yeah, things are very much not clear here. Let's find the truth of what the hell these Switch 2 edition games are. Yeah. That's what's going on there. Okay, it's a red cartridge, and it says Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So does that mean that it is all included on there? Because again, the Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition has that exact same disclaimer there. Oh yeah, and a no download code. So maybe we're getting in a whole hoopla about nothing because it is so weirdly worded that it makes it sound like it would be a download code. Okay, so maybe I won't cancel my Switch 2 edition pre-order because this would have like more resale value in the future. I don't know. I don't know why it would say upgrade pack also available separately. Like, why would that be important to know for someone that already has the upgrade pack already on the cartridge? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know what the point of the disclaimer is. Like, past maybe saying like, hey, this already has the Switch 2 edition upgrade built in, I guess. But like, maybe I'll keep my Switch 2 edition pre-order? But yeah, I never realized just how confusing that was before. So is it all built in? The code though couldn't just detect an auto download when the game starts? Maybe it is something like that. Hello, Raiga. Maybe that is what's going on, where you do still need an internet connection, and this does essentially work as like a Switch 1 cartridge, but just with like, it's a Switch 2 edition cartridge that looks like a Switch 2 edition, but when you pop it in, it automatically downloads the Switch 2 edition if you're playing on Switch 2 or something like that, where it essentially acts as like a game key card for the upgrade pack. Is that how it would work? So does it still suck for like the sale value in terms of long term when the servers are down? So is it on there? Is the data on there? Hold on. Switch 2 versions may contain Switch 1 cards and upgrade download code. Well, it doesn't include upgrade download code. Switch 1 games. Hold on. So how the hell does it work? I don't understand. But yeah, it sounds like legally shield for class action lawsuit, maybe. But yeah, that's unfortunately how everything seems nowadays with day 1 patches and forced updates with new games. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think the disclaimer is there just to assure consumers who don't need to pick this up to get it. The eShop is an option. Maybe. Maybe it's that. Where it's like, upgrade pack also available separately. Maybe it's just then to say that you don't need to purchase the Switch 2 edition to be able to have access to the Switch 2 edition upgrades. You can find the upgrade pack separately if you want to purchase just the Switch 1 edition. Maybe that's what it means. Man, I never realized how confusing this was. I don't understand how it works. Question about the Legend of Zelda Switch 2 versions. Just need a concrete answer. Is Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 versions all on cartridge, including the HDR and 60 FPS? For example, if I had no internet, would these cards be the updated versions? I understand there's some updates regarding the Switch app, but I've been Googling, reading along, and just can't seem to get a definitive answer. All on cart? It's seeming complicated, but that's all you need to know. Thereby. Okay, so it is all on the cart. So that would be the advantage of buying, like, the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition upgrades, is they have, like, more sale value, and you don't have to allocate as much space on your device. So it's probably the same for, Legend Z. It still pisses me off how Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition is $5 more expensive than just buying Switch 1 and upgrade pack, and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition is $10 more expensive than buying Switch 1 edition and upgrade pack. Like, it's gotta be, like, some of the most brain-dead pricing I've ever seen, so that still ticks me off, but, you know, at least with, Legend ZA, it's essentially the same price, you know, 1 penny different. But, yeah, with them, with them upping the price of Switch 1 edition game there. It's interesting that Tears of the Kingdom was $90, and Legend ZA here is $85. Maybe they did that just so it was, like, the same price of game plus upgrade pack as it was for Switch 2 or something like that. I like how their wording is so vague that we all have different interpretations of what they're talking about. Yeah, we're just out here interpreting, like, religious scripture or something like that. We all have our own interpretations here. Yep, that's Nintendo. Yeah, I mean, and no one really knows because Nintendo doesn't tell us things properly anymore. Yeah. It'd be nice if there was just, like, a very clear page, like the official Pokemon Legends ZA page, that just said, how exactly did the cartridges work? You know? Maybe it's somewhere on here, and I'm just making assumptions that it isn't, but I would be very surprised if it was here. Like, there isn't really a tab that says, hey, here's how the cartridges work, for those that actually care about how the cartridges work. Like, what's on it? News. It's just that. What do you mean as of May 27th, 2025? Pokemon Legends ZA arrives October 16th, 2025. This was just announced today. Today is not May 27th. What the hell are you talking about? Digital pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. Of course, that's the first thing that they push there. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order on the Nintendo eShop. Oh, it only brings you to the Nintendo eShop there. Yeah, includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition upgrade pack. So I guess they are just on there? Trivia, there's a version of Breath of the Wild DLCs included, but sadly none also with the Switch 2 upgrade too. That's so dumb, man. But yeah, and apparently some of the upgrades don't even work and actually break the games, really? Disclaimers usually means there's something that a consumer needs to know when buying the specific product, but this is just common knowledge in the gaming community that of course a PS5 game will have the PS5 copy and not the PS4 copy that needs to be downloaded into the PS5 copy. I mean, I'm glad I found this thread to keep drawing dead trying to find an actual solid answer that wasn't from April. This is on page 5 of Google results. It sounds like Google there. Unfortunately, that means I don't get to return them at $100/$115 CAD each. Damn. That's what collecting is all about, I guess. At least the upgrades are on the cartridge. It's a bummer that Breath of the Wild DLC isn't. That's another thing that ticks me off. Should have been. Got both cards physically, playing Tears of the Kingdom, and it's great with the upgrade. Well, cartridges for Switch 2 editions do install the upgrade onto the console, but the installed data comes from the cartridge. This is false, nothing is installed on the console. Okay, that'd be good there. You can play it without any installations because the Switch 1 game file is still on the card. And this person's been downvoted a whole bunch, so like they're probably wrong there. The difference it has from an original Switch 1 version of the game is the data for the Switch 2 upgrade pack alongside the game file. You can play the base game without any updates being necessary. Again, you're wrong. Switch 1 Plus upgrade pack is on the card. No update from the card is installed on the console. Okay, so it should just be the case that this is all included on the Switch 2 edition. If that's the case, then I will just keep my pre-order for Switch 2 edition. That way I have to allocate less space onto my console storage, even if it does mean that I get the lamer looking box and stuff there. And even if it does mean I'm technically paying a penny more here, I guess I'll do it just for like less space that I have to allocate on my console storage. Will be the case. Otherwise, if it was just downloading it, then I would have canceled my pre-order, gone to a Switch 1 pre-order, and then, you know, saved a penny and gotten the cooler looking box. Because, yeah, this looks kind of lame. But yeah, some of the upgrades introduce bugs that don't exist in the base version, or have other issues like oversaturation issues. Oh, Nintendo, when it comes to dealing with their already released games and making them playable on modern hardware. Having new issues? I refuse to believe it. I thought it isn't upgrade packs, but rather the fact it's being emulated and thus breaks regardless of if it's upgraded or not. Yeah, it might well be that, considering a lot of Nintendo consoles have been back compatible because the new consoles have literally had hardware of the old console in them. But with Switch 2, this is the first time, as far as I understand it, that one of their consoles is back compatible through emulation. That there isn't any actual Switch 1 physical hardware in the Switch 2. So they're essentially emulating the games. So that can introduce new issues. But yeah, I mean, you can print the Switch 1 box paper thingy. That's true. Just go to my printer, print the Switch 1 paper there, and then just like insert it into one of these cases here. Oh, that breaks the track in my camera. Don't believe it's an emulation. Seen people playing on their Switch 2 and have the issues. No, the Switch 2 works through emulation for running Switch 1 games. Just before the Switch 2 came out, it was part of like the developer interviews where they were saying that it worked through emulation and that they had to test like all the games individually to make sure that it was working on Switch 2 there. So they revealed that it was as part of emulation during the developer interviews before the launch of the Switch 2. When they did like the big Switch 2 presentation and linked developer interviews and stuff like that, I went through them on stream and they mentioned that it was through emulation on that. Screenshots and game footage are from product in development and not final. Product concept features subject to changes. Footage of the videos was taken from Legends ZA Switch 2 edition. Please check the official website for more information regarding the differences. Okie doke. Well, at least earlier in the month I get to play a game that I'm like actually super hyped about here. Like this game's gonna be sick. I have no doubt. But also if you want to be technical about the title. So I mean there. They attack emulators and then their own official product is an emulation of their own system. Yep. Technically a funny little bit of irony. Xbox was the first to do it, going from original Xbox to Xbox 360. Nothing new in the industry, is just new for Nintendo specifically, yeah. In general, Nintendo is really new to the emulation scene, yeah. So they might not have it be all that great there. So, okay. I guess we went on a crazy tirade there about what's going on with the Switch 2 edition. just from lack of understanding of how it works because things are worded weirdly. Thank goodness that the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions are already out so that we can find out how this works from that. As it turns out, this one is just different and it has a download code, but I'd be very surprised if that was the case. Alright, so now we know. Now we know. The whole hoopla was no worries here. Because so much was being chatted about while this was going on, maybe I should actually go through this and, like, you know, pay more attention. What new stuff were they showcasing here outside of Mega Dragonite? Was there anything new that they were showcasing? Wow. Like, they showcased some new characters and stuff like that, I guess. But yeah. If that is the case, I can see that causing problems. Bad emulators do have color issues and other glitches when their code isn't exact. I can't wait for Nintendo Switch 2. Exclusive glitches for Pokémon Legends ZA. Just character customization for the most part. Oh yeah, that's true. So, do we think that Pokémon Legends ZA is going to have more customizability for the female trainer than the male trainer? It only really showed the female trainer here, so I mean, maybe that's indicative that we're not going to have that much customization options for the male trainer. Because that was how it went in X and Y, where there was so few selection with the male trainer, but the female trainer just got, like, so much. I'd say absolutely lol. So, when I play this game on the channel, should we play the female trainer? Because chances are they might have more customizability. Like, I could always put it to a poll in, like, the polls channel or something like that, as we do around here. But yeah, trainer customization. But they seem to have an actual character customizer for the first time, so that's cool. Well, I mean, they had actual character customizers in some games like Sword and Shield. There wasn't really that much of one in Scarlet and Violet, but with, like, your torso and pants being stuck the same, like, no matter what. Hold on. So did it show the actual menu? Like, it showed some potential outfits there. I really hope that you can customize individual parts. I assume you can. And not just, like, the entire outfit, as was the case with Pokemon BDSP, where you could only change the entire outfit. I would presume here that you can change individual parts, probably. Here, look, I'm blocking the head of one if you want to see, like, the full thingamabob. Presumably you can change individual pieces? Probably, I hope. But yeah, I can just start, like, a poll in the polls channel and be like, hey, do we play the male trainer or the female trainer? But, I mean, realistically, I feel like there's a chance that the female trainer is probably going to have a lot more customizability if it's going to work by, like, X and Y rules here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I wasn't paying enough attention before because I was chatting about so much other stuff to notice this name, Emma. So that's a recurring character from Pokemon X and Y from, like, the whole epilogue thingamabob. If I go to my Pokemon X and Y playthrough here. Let's see. How long ago was that? Let's see here. If I scroll down a little bit here. That was last year, question marks? Hold on, when did I do, that was earlier, no, that wasn't earlier this year. Hold on. That was the 24-hour Cherry Stream 10. That was, yeah, that was last year, I'm pretty sure here. Yeah, 2024. So yeah, my, Pokemon X and Y playthrough that I did last year here. That was randomized until we did, like, this little side story here, where we just had, like, the text not be randomized so we could see what was actually going on. Yeah, this stuff, these 3 parts, was the little side story with Emma that was going on. And, Esper, or whatever the heck. There have been instances in Luminous where all Pokemon that don't have a trainer are suddenly Mega Evolving on their own. And it looks like she has a Mega Stone there and stuff. So, is she still working at the Looker Detective Bureau there? Didn't the story end with, like, Looker leaving and passing on the bureau to Emma or something like that? So maybe she has her own detective bureau in this game? Is what's going on? Forgive all my sniffles. It's just one of those days. But yeah, let's see here. It was so basic I don't really count it, but this one seems to have full customization. And yeah, you can do individual parts, even doing lipstick / gloss, etc. So that's why I meant gotcha there. Hair color is probably more of monocolor and 2-color preset. Maybe there. They dipped their toes back in the Wii era, but the Wii era relied on one individual who really knew the N64 hardware to front and back, on top of the fact that emulators on Wii, they made a new one per game. They made a new one per game instead of having an all-encompassing one. Like most people do, which meant when that person no longer worked for Nintendo, they were back to square one in the Wii U era. That's why Switch emulators went to shit after they retired the old Wii emulators. I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. Wow. Appreciate it there. Why is she still wearing the old suit? Guess she never grew out of it. guess is what's going on there. Yeah, so I guess you could just fight some wild Pokemon that are Mega Evolved. I guess it's treated like raid battles or something like that. I presume that you can do these with friends or something then, and you've just got like raid battles of going and fighting Mega Evolved Pokemon. Wow. Because ever since the Switch era, Pokemon has loved like its raid battle kind of stuff with multiple people at once. Yeah, look, you've got Esper there. I wasn't paying enough attention before because I was rambling the whole time. Dang it, I skipped past it again. That one guy's expression. Hold on. Hold on, too early. Yeah, so it looks like she's in charge of this detective bureau here. So I assume there probably won't be any looker, but we'll have like Detective Emma on the case. That'll be like one of the characters here. Yeah, we're gonna have Mega Raids. The strat did make for the best emulators we've ever seen though, but it was hard to scale it up. Yeah, makes sense there. Hold on, hold on. I want that one frame there. Give me a hot second here. No, dang it. I could always play it slower or something. That's what I could do. Here, 0.25 speed. He is so completely stunned by whatever the player character said. The player character just whispered the cringiest thing into this guy's ear. Pro opt out of Demon Slayer. It really looks like he did. I am so tempted to use this guy in the thumbnail with this expression for the thumbnail on this after the fact. You can use comma and dot to cycle frame. Oh, I didn't actually know that. Let's see here. So, like... Interesting. Cool. I will certainly keep that in mind there. I wish that I could use that to get onto an exact frame and use it for, like, thumbnails for when I'm getting thumbnails for my specific playthroughs. But I can't because I have this stupid bar on the bottom. Like, maybe there's a way to get rid of the bar. Like... What? Why did it go a little bit lopsided? Yeah, whatever there. Yeah, anyway. That look. That's what I wanted. Alright, well. Look at all... Look... Words! Look at all the megas. Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Wow. That is probably all on the cartridge. Game's new story, which takes place in a city. Striving to be somewhere that belongs to both people and Pokemon. Wow. But yeah. On YouTube, you can... Okay, so you know all the tricks here. You can right-click twice and copy video frame. Take snapshot. Like... Take snapshot. Oh. You can see me preparing, like, for upcoming playthroughs here, like the Walking Dead series there. Snapshot.jpg was the last thing that I saved into a folder there. Because that'll be the next Walking Dead playthrough here. I've been considering what stuff I want to play at LAN events. I figured that maybe that I'd do at HalloLAN this year. So that's why there's a folder for that in my playthroughs folder. A fashion designer in the making. So yeah, it introduced some new characters this time around is what the raid battles, new characters. Emma, if she wasn't in a previous trailer. Maybe she was and I wasn't paying enough attention. Was the main things of this trailer. And the whole day and night stuff. During the day, you can explore the city. Find lots of Pokemon to add to your party. Alright, well. Registered. I can't wait to have as absurd a Pokedex as Pokemon Legends Arceus. With the most repetitive, boring tasks ever. Can't wait to see it. Well, events in the ZA Royale. Battles against powerful trainers await. Yeah, he does look like he came straight out of Demon Slayer, doesn't he? I'll never be able to unsee it. One of those trainers, Corbio, is the boss of... What? Is the boss of the Rust Syndicate. An organization operating in Lumio City. It seems like he has some kind of business with members of Team MZ. I know that I could just turn on the volume for, like, this, but... I'll just ramble over it again. Yeah, he looked really ticked off there. Life and style, plenty of ways to have... Oh yeah, this is where it showed, like, the pieces, didn't it? Yeah, I could have sworn that it showed the pieces somewhere. Yeah. Trainers can stage their hairstyle. Yeah, so it looks like it would just be like a monocolor kind of thing. Or maybe there's presets that have like 2 colors, something like that. I gotcha. Yeah, so it is individual pieces. So this is everything with the face. So it looks like this will probably be like an actual proper character creator then if you can do a bunch of stuff with the face and it's not just outfit pieces. Didn't we have this play earlier? I swear. YouTube Shuffle does not actually shuffle. It just plays like the same handful over and over again. Here, let's switch over manually to like, I don't know, this one. Okay. So maybe we'll actually be able to customize our character, their look, and not just the clothing that they're wearing. That's cool there. And then, yeah, the outfit pieces. Hold on, go back. Hairstyle, hair color. Wait. So this is hair salon specifically. Looks. Okay, I was about to say, if the male trainer only has, like, that many tabs, but the female trainer has, like, that X amount. But it looks like these are different places. So this is specifically for hair. Wow. All the sniffles. And then this is specifically for face, it looks like. Okay. Outfit. What color do you want? Hair with which color? Okay, that's kind of cool there. Where it's like, I guess like the jacket can be one color and the shirt can be another color there. Wait, but like, couldn't you in Sword and Shield select a different shirt and then a different jacket completely? Here it looks like the shirts that you get are paired with the jackets, but you can just choose different colors. I could be losing my mind, but I could have sworn in Sword and Shield you could choose like a shirt of whatever kind and then a jacket of whatever kind is what I could have sworn was the case. It's been a while, so I could be going crazy, but I thought that's what was going on. So I guess we've got a bit of a downgrade compared to Sword and Shield for that, but maybe there's more face customization. I mean, there's a little bit of face customization in Sword and Shield. Can't remember. Yeah, so you can have very different looks. I mean, it looks like this will be the most customizable Pokemon has been since Sword and Shield, at the very least. So it's been a little bit of a hot second, considering Scarlet and Violet. You were locked in to just, like, a few options for, like, shirt and pants. In Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you could only select full outfits. And Legends ZA, you could customize individual parts, but I think, like, the torso and pants was, like, one individual piece, or no, maybe, I don't know. There just wasn't a whole lot of options in Legends Arceus, I remember. So, it looks like this is definitely the most customizable it's been since Sword and Shield, and maybe the most customizable it's been yet, which is kind of cool. Wow. Team up with a Furfro. You have it trimmed into fashionable styles, since we're bringing that back and stuff. Also take photos at interesting spots. Relax and hang out with your Pokemon if you like. Well, yeah, I hope so. Like, it's been a long time since X and Y. So, I'm sure that we've learned since then. Yeah, the best detective in Lumiose. It literally just said that in the trailer, and I missed that before. Was the case. So, it's been a long time since X and Y. Maybe we'll actually get some good male customization this time, but part of me is a little skeptical. Like, I might not be able to decide. Maybe I'll just put it to a poll in the Discord server. So anyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, if you want to have some influence about whether I'm playing the male trainer or female trainer, come join the Discord server and, like, vote on stuff in polls. Like, that's how the Gates to Infinity playthrough got decided for the last 24-hour event here. So, I mean, and that's how we did the trainer deciding for Pokemon Conquest here. I'm surprised at how close it was with the Pokemon Conquest playthrough. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that for Pokemon Legends ZA as well. So, like, easy plug of the Discord and, like, vote on which one you'd rather see. Ah. Emma, the best detective in Lumiose. Maybe she can figure out how the Switch 2 edition cartridges work. Why does she have, like, the cat kind of a woo look to her mouth there? Man, every time they release something new, it still makes me disappointed. There's still no voice acting. Yep. Do you know what game does have voice acting, though? The new Donkey Kong game has voice acting. This game's actually super fun. I've actually really been enjoying the new Donkey Kong. How did Donkey Kong get voice acting before Pokemon, man? Outside of, like, you know, the intro bit of Donkey Kong 64, I've been told has voice acting. Rogue Mega Evolution. Strange has been occurring in Lumiose City recently. How did that Absol get on the roof? Wow. That, this texture and rock coming up looks like something you'd see in, like, Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword. Not, like, a modern game release, but that's at least my thoughts on that little bit there. Yeah, there's incidents have been mega evolving on their own and going rogue. That's crazy. But yeah, still no voice acting. That's how it goes there. Yep, GameCube. So there's... What? saying that there's voice acting on the GameCube there for us, or what you mean? Newly discovered Mega Evolved Pokemon Mega Dragonite. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm into it. Well, tackle a rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, you'll want an ally from Team MZ at your side. I assume that you can do this with, like, friends as well, that you can do multiplayer in that sense. Oh, saying that's GameCube style graphics, I gotcha, yep. Looks like something you'd see on the GameCube there. Different wishes intertwine, seeking for people and Pokemon to coexist. Well, Zygarde Doggo. Coming Thursday, October 16th. Nintendo really likes releasing their games Thursdays nowadays. It used to be Fridays. Nowadays, they really like releasing games Thursdays. Like, maybe it's so that people can start on Thursday, and then there's, like, all sorts of content and coverage on Fridays that's already out there. Like, I don't know why they started taking that approach, but, like, hey, works fine by me. Like, Donkey Kong Bonanza here. Released on Thursday. Yeah, not even the voice grunts that Zelda games had back in 1998. Yup. Yeah. Can't even have that. Just completely silent. Geralt, it's hardly a Gardevoir, right? As a gift, available to claim until Saturday, February 28th, 2026. Yeah, the whole buy early, and then you get, like, a special Pokemon there. Well, I guess I can have a Gardevoir in my party during the Legends ZA playthrough, and hopefully not be larded as some sort of creep. Small indie company, guys, that's right. You know, speaking about indie, and the, like, full voice acting, here, I was looking at Civ here recently for a thingamabob. There's an indie game that I played here recently. So, I mean, the first Dark Deity game came out several years ago. Last played July 25th, 2021 there. And just earlier this year, the sequel came out, Dark Deity 2. And I actually really like this game. Like, it's a indie game series that was inspired by the Fire Emblem series. It's a strategy RPG, so, like, you move units around a battlefield and all that. And, with the second game here, this game has, like, full voice acting. The only place that it doesn't have voice acting is in, like, the support conversations, the bond conversations. But in, like, all the cutscenes here of this indie game here, everything is fully voiced out. And I was honestly blown away by the voice acting in this game. It was actually really, really good. The voice actors did, like, an incredible performance. Especially, like, the lead protagonist here, Gwyn. Like, I was, like, really, really floored. The voice acting was really, really good in this game. So thinking about, like, small indie studio, you even have small indie studios like this that are just, like, a small handful of people, but still bring on, like, a full team of voice actors and make the entire story of their game fully voice acted in such an incredible way. But the highest grossing media franchise of all time, can't be bothered. The games are gonna sell fantastically anyway, so why bother? So, I mean, this is the world we live in. Check Claire Obscure Harmonia. I've heard of that name before, but I don't really know anything about it. I can look it up here. Claire Obscure? Oh, that's Expedition 33 then. I've heard the name Expedition 33. I didn't realize it was called Claire... Stop. Claire Obscure first and foremost. I've heard good things about this game, and I've had some people ask me, what the hell am I watching here? No, go away. I've even had some people ask me if, like, I'd be playing this game one day. I only heard about it, like, semi-recently here. Apparently it was made by, like, a team of ex-Ubisoft devs. I guess this would be an example of essentially, like, an indie studio kind of thing. And then you have stuff that looks like this. So dramatic. I heard a lot of people say in reference to this game, like, huh, this is what Ubisoft devs can do when they're not held back, huh? And it does look really cool, honestly. Yeah, game is amazing. That's what I've heard here. And apparently it's a turn-based RPG. When there's not, like, a massive ton of turn-based RPGs that release nowadays. So, like, turn-based RPG fans are eating pretty good with this game, it sounds like. But yeah, this game definitely intrigues me. There's a T-pose to assert dominance. There's a lot of other games I want to get to around here in the nearest future. But, like, hey, if there's, like, a future Steam Summer or Winter Sale, I think this would be a game that would be on my radar, and maybe I'd play it one day here. Basically Paper Mario, but Frenchie. But yeah, and also that game, Date Everything. The guy's first game, it had top-tier voice actors everywhere. Amazing quality of life, huh? I think I've heard the name Date Everything before. I know, like, nothing about it. Ex-Ubisoft employs 30 people. So this is made by, like, a team of, like, 30 people then, huh? Wow. That is honestly really impressive there. But yeah, look at modern Nintendo stuff. Yeah, if I wasn't a content creator, like, I want to showcase these as part of, like, a series on my channel and give them, like, a full review and talk about the quality of the games and my impressions and stuff like that. And I am very much someone that grew up with Pokemon stuff. I clearly have, like, a deep passion for Pokemon stuff. I mean, literally just look around my room. I'm obviously someone that has, like, a deep passion for Pokemon stuff. Or even my hat, having N's hat from Pokemon Black and White here. Like, obviously I'm someone that is very into Pokemon stuff. But honestly, if I wasn't a content creator doing series, I would not be playing these games. I would not be picking this up. I would be playing games like Expedition 33. I'd be playing games like Ghost of Yotai here. Like, which I am super hyped for. I would just be playing those games that actually look really friggin' good. And not things like this that look like, okay, I play a real-time Pokemon game, that's kind of different, around a really bland-looking city. Ooh, Mega Evolution's back, and that's kind of neat, but essentially that's my impressions, where it's like, hey, it's kind of cool that, like, the battle formula has changed with this. I am intrigued to see what that's like gameplay-wise. I think that's pretty much the only thing that I'm looking forward to about this game. Oh, and the music. The music of Pokemon games is always good. I always quite enjoy Pokemon soundtracks, so I'm sure the soundtrack of this game is probably going to be really good. So two things that I'd be significantly looking forward to trying out with this game is the new battle system and the music. I don't think there's anything else that I'm really excited about with this game. Maybe a little smidge Mega Evolution being back and seeing, like, some different Mega Evolutions. There's, like, 2.5 things that I'm potentially looking forward to with this game, but the whole thing just being, like, a city that you go around and do missions and progress a story in one singular city, it doesn't look that interesting to me. AA game with quadruple A price, Nintendo, that's what it feels like. But yeah, everything Pokemon is just cheaply done and grossly overpriced now. Yeah, sadly. Oh, and that reminds me of another game that I'd be playing instead. I only played a little bit of this game. Like, I only have 8 hours in it just because I wanted to showcase it and see what is this game all about. But it was actually genuinely really fun, and I feel like I had more fun playing it than I have with modern Pokemon games in a long time. Like, I remember I picked this up, I think it was during Janland last year, because it had just released that weekend. And I just wanted to try it out, get it as a bit of a meme, play it with my little cousin there. And we were initially playing it, like, running around, capturing humans, like, joking, having fun, making fun of it. But genuinely having fun playing the game. And I only found out towards the end of Janland that a bunch of the fellow Fragapalooza staff had, like, a server booted up for Pal World. And we're just spending, like, all of Janland playing Pal World together. And we're just having, like, a blast playing it. Like, yeah, you can see the last play January, like the end of January 2024. I played it a little bit on my own time at the end of the month just because it was just genuinely a fun game. And this game has gotten, like, so many free updates throughout the years. And they are continuing their active, like, legal battle against Nintendo. And it sounds like making some decent ground here. And that Nintendo might not have as much of a case as they hoped for. Which is great, which is fantastic news, honestly. But yeah, if, I would gladly just be playing things like the Pal World, the Expedition 33s, the Ghost of Yotais of the gaming industry. And not, why am I moving that onto the other screen? I always keep that on this monitor. Yeah, which is really amazing news. Like, big congrats to Pocket Pair on that. Like, that's awesome to see. But yeah, the stuff that comes out from Pokemon nowadays just looks so meh. Oh, I guess you could argue there's a little bit of excitement for, like, customizability potentially being better than ever. But, I mean, I can also play other games to get that, too. You know? So, I mean, yeah, and with the whole, like, Pokemon Champions thing, where it's like, there's currency that I guess you have to farm for and then redeem to power up your Pokemon. So why would you not just use Pokemon Showdown? Why would you not just do that, huh? So, yeah. Yep. Is it $70 USD or would it be $75 USD? Because here in Canada, we usually have, or I guess you're saying for, like, the full price, like, Switch 2 edition there. Because I know here the Switch 1 edition got more expensive. So I had Switch 1 edition in the back of my mind there for a hot second. I heard 70, but I forgot that before it was 60 and now it's 70 for games there in the States. Or however the heck things are working there now. Yeah, different customizability options there. yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say here, where it's like, hey, there's a couple aspects that I'm intrigued about with this game. Real-time battles, the music will always be good. And to an extent, we'll see what the customizability is like, and new megas and stuff like that. But apart from that, it just looks kind of meh. Like, the fact that it just takes place in this one city, where every single building looks exactly the same with the same basic repeating window texture, it just doesn't look very interesting to me. I hope I'll be surprised, since I'll be playing it, showcasing it on the channel here, doing my full playthrough. I hope I'll be surprised and I'll be like, wow, this is the most fun that I've had with Pokemon in a long time. This is actually really fun and good. But yeah, if I wasn't doing my series, I would not be interested in picking this up. And I especially wouldn't really be interested in supporting Pokemon nowadays, what with their whole frivolous lawsuit against Pocket Pair, where it's like, really? Really? Going after them for patent infringement just because you're kind of upset about their success, seemingly. That's my interpretation. Like, who knows the real reason why they're going after them? Maybe they felt like their patents were really being infringed on, but when you consider just how many patents Nintendo has, and just how many of those patents are technically being violated by so many other games that Nintendo just doesn't go after, which I believe is an argument that Palworld has made in court, that Pocket Pair has made in court, is like, they have so many patents that are just so general that so many people violate, but they just don't go after others for them. And seemingly it's because they're worried about the Palworld going under the wing of Sony, with, like, Sony having interest in bringing on Palworld, and Palworld actually becoming, like, some genuine, serious competition for Nintendo, by way of Nintendo's biggest gaming industry competitor being Sony. So, it seems very much like that's why they went after Pocket Pair. Take them out while they're still just a young little sprout before they grow into a whole tree and stuff like that. Man, my issue with real time is if it isn't done well, it'd be extremely easy. Like, I imagine wait for enemy to attack, move, then attack, and take no damage. Yeah, that's a concern that I had as well, that I'd mentioned during, like, some of these previous presentations. I'm definitely a bit concerned about that here as well. The wild part is they made the patent after Palworld came out as well. Yeah, like, that should not be legal. So, even in terms of doing stuff like that, even if this looked like the best game ever, if I wasn't a content creator, I don't think I would pick up the game, just because it's like, hey, that is not a business I want to support when they're just so downright evil in that sense, where it's like, hey, there's this game that came out that is competing with us and actually providing a genuine threat to our brand. Let's now file a patent and then go after them in court about it to, you know, try to destroy them. It's like, really? That is just so downright evil and awful, and yeah. So, as part of, like, my channel here, my business and all of that, I'll showcase it, but if it wasn't for that, I would not be playing this game. There's so many other games that I could be playing there. But yeah, so Pokemon Friends, the puzzle mobile game, already has day 1 DLC? Oh gee, they took notes from Sega. Oh my god. The game is $10 USD, and DLC is $26 USD? Wait, it's an app, right? Can I look it up on my phone here? What's it called again? Pokemon Puzzle or something? Pokemon Friends. Well, I'm looking it up on my phone right now. Pokemon Friends. Let's see here. Pokemon Friends Eureka every day. Okay, well, it says it's free to get. It says in-app purchases. Can you see what the in-app purchases are here? Packed with puzzles. Pokemon Friends has over 1,200 puzzles, ranging from quick brain teasers to genuine head scratchers. Knit new friends, trouble in Thinktown, play every day, personalize your perfect plush room. At least 3 gigabytes of RAM is recommended. Doesn't say about the in-app purchases here. The game itself is 537 megabytes, it looks like. Category puzzle. In-app purchases, yes. Oh, here I can check the in-app purchases. Oh my god. So this is Canadian dollar for reference. But, here, if I turn off, like, the tracking on my camera, I can probably just show you. Here, turn off the tracking. You want to see these prices for the in-app purchases for the different bundles? Puzzle On Bundle, $38. Combo Bundle, $50. Puzzle On Pack number 2, $22. Puzzle On Pack number 1, $22. Basic Pack, $14. My god. There is, in the new Pokemon, like, freemium puzzle game, there is a $50 day 1 DLC. That I assume is both the packs there. And the Puzzle On bundle is, I assume, a separate thing. I assume the combo bundle is... No, maybe it wouldn't be pack 1 and pack 2, because those are cheaper to purchase on their own. So maybe it's just the combination of everything there. $50. A Rip Mom's credit card. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be a gotcha game that asks for more purchases all the time. Or it could be something like a Fortnite where there's always more costumes and you always need more V-Bucks or something like that. At least it's a finite amount of content of additional puzzle bundles. And I assume that they'll roll more out over time if the game performs well. But yeah, let's see here. And they changed patent writing midway to be more vague. That tactic is used for wasting money on lawsuits. Yeah. Oh, Nintendo posted in the Pokemon channel here. Oh, for the prices there. Pokemon Friends on Nintendo Switch is $10 plus $26 DLC to unlock all the puzzles. Oh, on the Switch there? Well, it sure seems like it's a whole lot more than $26. Also, I really don't like Central Leaks. They promote, like, just blatant misinformation a lot. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah. See the bundles on the Pokemon website, and holy jeez, is it wild. Okay, so can you see, like, what's in the bundles there? Pokemon Friends. Let's see here. Get your puzzle on with Pokemon Friends, available now. It's no mystery that Pokemon plus puzzles plus plush equals plenty of fun. Hello, Rika Man. This presents could have been sent to one in an email. This was a complete nothing burger. Also, I find it pretty deceitful that they only showed the Switch 2 version and not the Switch 1. I guess we've probably seen Switch 1 with, like, previous gameplay footage. I mean, it makes sense that they'd want to show, like, the best possible version there. But yeah, we probably are going to have to wait for the game to actually release for actual, like, other people, other content creators, to do, like, their own showcases of Switch 1 versus Switch 2. I assume that Nintendo would never do an actual comparison of Switch 1 versus Switch 2 themselves. Hey, I visited ThinkTown, a place where thinking is fun with Pokemon Friends, now available on... This is clickable. Well, let's go to, like, the, Oh, why is there a separate page here? What? But yeah. Guess we're not seeing the Switch 1 frame rate there. It's all brain-teasing stuff. I also have Pikachu plush. It meant a lot to me. I've got just the thing. Gameplay footage from mobile version of game. Yeah, if this costs money to, like, even download on the Switch there, then I'm probably not going to showcase it on the channel. If it was free on the Switch, then maybe I'd download it briefly just to showcase it. See what it's like. As a brief, like, one-off. Okay. Yeah, Pokemon Friends here. Digital. Site for the USA, which... Fine, change region to Canada there. Yeah. You gonna do it? Oh my god, man. Just Canada. Oh yeah, and then I'm not on the page anymore. I freaking hate Nintendo's website. Like, you're on the page for a specific game, and then it asks you to change region, and then when you do, it navigates you to the home page instead of the page that you were actually on that you were trying to change region for. Something that I hate about Nintendo's webpage there. Pokemon Ferns. Pokemon Friends. Combo bundle. Yeah, $14 Canadian. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna showcase that on the channel then. I think I'm good. Time will be sent to your system automatically after purchase. Puzzle On Pack 1, Puzzle On Pack 2, Puzzle On Bundle Packs 1 and 2. Well, what's this about why is there a $50 DLC on mobile, but not here? Hold on. So these are the same prices for Puzzle On Pack 1 and Puzzle On Pack 2. There's Puzzle On Bundle Packs 1 and 2, which is $37. And yeah, there's Puzzle On Bundle here too. But there's also the basic pack and the combo bundle, which are exclusive to the app here. So maybe the basic pack is something that's only offered for, like... Oh, wait a second. I see what's going on here. So on the mobile app, it's free to download, but the basic pack is $14. Whereas on the Switch version here, it's $14 to download rather than being free. So maybe you download it thinking that it's like a free app, but it probably only has like the most basic things ever. And then when you download the basic pack, it gives you the same content that you would for just like downloading this in the first place. And then the combo bundle is probably like the basic pack plus the Puzzle On bundle. I see what's going on here now. I gotcha. I see why there's a $50 thing here. I getcha. But yeah, what do you think of the presents? I go into these with low expectations, being like, if they don't announce much, they don't announce much, but I do think that was just, like, the biggest Nothing Burger presents, like, but yeah, why do I come back to us still talking about shitty Pokemon games? Look at Pokemon Friends DLC cost. It just released it as day 1 DLC bundles. Yep. The Puzzle On bundle. I should get the Puzzle On Pack 1 or the Puzzle On Pack 2. Let's see what's going on here. Puzzle On Pack 1. Hold on, let's actually see the description for, like, the main game first. Hold on. Let's have a quick look-see here. Worse, the free puzzle game is day 1 DLC. Well, it's not free if you get it here, and I assume that since it's paid only for here, that there's probably not much that you can do with the free app until you buy the basic bundle, which is $14 there. I would assume. But yeah, I mean, let's see here. Cozy up with a variety of bite-sized puzzles and collect virtual Pokemon plush. Unwind with puzzles in the Pokemon Friends game. Solve sets of 3 random puzzles to help untangle your mind. Then place the yarn you obtain into the Plush-O-Matic, a special machine that creates in-game Pokemon plush. As you try to make them all, you can track your crafted plush in the catalog. You can also mark your calendar with a stamp each day you play, and then go back to practice puzzles you played on those days. What, is it gonna be like Brain Age Academy then in that sense? Complete, and they've styled it like Pokemon because Pokemon's a big brand, but they're redoing Brain Age in a different way. Except less math and just all puzzles, I guess. Complete friend quest to get furniture to decorate plush rooms. Again, they do like a period or an exclamation point to end a lot of sentences, and then sometimes they just don't. Like, just pick a format and be consistent to it. It just bugs me, like, OCD-wise. Folks around town will ask you to bring them specific plush. Finish these friend quests to give each plush a forever home and increase your friendship level with the townspeople. Grateful townspeople will give rewards, including furniture, which you can use to decorate your in-game plush rooms, along with a plush you like too much to give away. So the basic pack, so that's what, like, this is here, when you initially download it. The basic pack includes 30 puzzles, 70 craftable plushes, and all 11 yarn types. Expand your puzzle and plush variety with paid DLC. Wait, so didn't it say somewhere that it had like 1,200 puzzles or something like that? But like, you pay $14 for the game and you have 30 of those 1,200 or something like that? If you enjoy expanding your catalog of plush, shouldn't that say your catalog of plushes or plushies? You can buy DLC. There are several DLC options available for purchase, including the Puzzle On Pack 1 and Puzzle On Pack 2. Why does it have an asterisk here, but then it doesn't have, like, a description of that asterisk? Isn't that what the asterisk usually means? Is, like, go and look down for the single asterisk and see what it says here? Well, let's check out the Puzzle On Pack 1. Pack 1 is 10 puzzles, is that what it is here? Oh. What was this that I read about, like, 1,200 puzzles? Am I going crazy here? I could have sworn it said some ridiculous number like that. Am I completely losing my mind here? Complete bite-sized puzzles to help untangle your mind, and use the yarn you obtain to make in-game Pokemon plush. Like, shouldn't this be plural? Is that technically a form of plural? I would always think that it would be plushes. Puzzle On Pack 1 is an additional download content for the Pokemon Friends game that includes additional puzzles, plush, and pieces of furniture. This DLC includes the following items: 10 additional puzzles, Take Tough Tunneling, more Peko medals, how many more? Smeargle's Picky Palette, Square Solver, Operation Bath Time, and fuck yeah, Yamper the Champ, Magnezone March, Cyndaquil's Light Show, holy moly, 40 additional Pokemon plush to make, 15 additional pieces of furniture you can earn as rewards from quests, including seaside and forest themed items, 4 additional plus room wallpapers. Wow, and then Puzzle On Pack 2 here. Complete bite-sized puzzles help untangle your mind and use the yarn you obtain to make in-game Pokemon plush. Puzzle On Pack 2 is additional downloadable content for the Pokemon Friends game that includes additional puzzles, plush, and pieces of furniture. This DLC includes the following items: 10 additional puzzles, Who Goes Where, Don't Wake Gengar, Blocked Boxes, Topsy-Turvy Espeon, Stamp and Roll, Bricks and Ladders, Porygon's Lab, Tricky Triangle, Illuminati Confirmed, Pairing Up Pokemon, Bye-Bye Balloons, 40 additional Pokemon plush to make, 15 additional pieces of furniture you can earn as rewards from quests, including space and sweets-themed items, 4 additional plush room wallpapers. Of course, you can get the bundle of the 2 there. But yeah. Wait, is it more expensive? No, they're the same amount. They're both $22. Is the case here. And then this is the bundle of the 2 of them. But yeah, so game with both DLC is 50 puzzle. Yeah, it seems like then. But yeah, it did say that in the trailer. Okay, so I'm not going crazy here. Where's the... Hold on. Where's the Pokemon Friends bit? Because I swear it said something about 1,200 puzzles. Hold on. I could have sworn. I think it said that. I'm not making that number up, right? Get your daily aha moment. Where the heck was the thing? Some features only available in DLC. Mobile version available to download the App Store for mobile. Oh, hold on a hot second. Whoa, wait here. $2 per puzzle. I thought it said around $15. But yeah, this is the epitome of a $5 to $10 mobile game. What the hell are those prices? Hold on. Mobile version available to download on the App Store and Google Play. For mobile version, free to start. Optional in-game purchases available. Persistent internet compatible smart device required. Data charges may apply. Yeah. I could have sworn it said the here, simulated footage. I swear it said the number 1,200 somewhere. Maybe each type of puzzle has multiple levels, and then when you combine, like, all the levels for each individual puzzle, it gets that number. Is maybe what it is. But it still seems a little misleading. Hold on. Where the heck did it say that number? So if puzzles get your daily aha moment. I could have sworn it said that absurd number like 1,200 somewhere. Pokemon friends. Did it not? Maybe it said it somewhere here. The thrill of realization while entangling their thoughts. Hold on. Available today. Yeah, digital only. Hope you download and give it a try. Am I getting crazy here? I might be losing my mind. I could have sworn it said like some number like 1,200 somewhere. But yeah, free to start doesn't mean it includes any puzzles. I assume it probably includes a few, but then it's like, hey, now that you're like this game, pay us at least $14 to get truly started. Mandela effect goes crazy. Maybe it really does. No, it said it here! This is where it was on the Pokemon thing. Hold on. Pokemon Friends is a game that makes thinking fun. Untangle your mind with over 1,200 puzzles designed by Wonderfee, a studio known for creating fun educational content. Okay, no, it was here. It wasn't in the presents there. 1,200. That's gotta mean like levels of each of the puzzle types, right? But that is definitely a lot. Like, that is still quite the substantial number there. But yeah, free to start sounds like just tutorial. It might well be. I can potentially download on my phone and find out. I might not have enough space on my phone. I might not be able to, actually. Might not be the case. Yeah. If this was like a free download thing on the Switch, like, I would download it and showcase just a little bit of it just to show, hey, what's a little bit of this? But I'm not paying $14 just to showcase 10 puzzles here. I think I'm good. Yeah, it's out right now. So you can play it. And, I mean, honestly, I think if this was just, like, a paid game that was, like, maybe $20, something like that, and then you got, like, 50 puzzle types, something like that, it's like, okay, well, that'd be a pretty decent price there for, you know, a kid's game where maybe you want to just, like, download this game on a phone and hand it to your kid, or, like, on your Switch, and then at least they're playing a game that gets them thinking and stuff like that for a reasonable price. But to instead handle the monetization, like $14 for like these 10 starter puzzles, or what was it? Well, how many was it to start out? Oh, 30 puzzles. So like, wait, so it's $14 for 30 puzzles, and then $22 for an additional 10, like add-on DLC. Yeah, those are pretty expensive extra puzzles there. But, you know, the sound of, like, a $14 game, 30 puzzles that all have, like, multiple levels, and then that's something that, like, you hand to your kid for them to, like, play a Pokemon game that they'll get a kick out of while they're also, like, thinking about it and improving their brain skills. You know, I think that's fine. Like, that seems reasonable there. What I don't think sounds reasonable is, like, day one DLC, $22 each, 10 additional puzzles. But, I mean, this does seem like a reasonable thing if you just want to, like, download it, hand it to your kid that wants something Pokemon-themed, and then they're playing, like, a puzzle game that engages their brain and not playing, like, some sort of freemium slop or something like that that they could alternatively be doing on their mobile device. Like, that seems okay to me. Like, I don't think that there's anything absurd about that, actually, looking at that. And, like, for kids that want something basic Pokemon to play and want something that engages their brains and stuff like that, you know, that seems fine and reasonable and all that. This, I think, is a little silly. Day 1 DLC and $22 for each additional 10 puzzles. But, you know, honestly, I think that's fine. Quite frankly. I won't be playing it, but maybe it's appealing for parents/kiddos that just want to give their kiddos something Pokemon themed and complete puzzles and stuff, you know, that's fine, I think. I don't think that that's, like, overpriced craziness or anything like that, but this is. That's my opinion on it, but yeah, that's fine there. But yeah, 30 basic plus 20 DLC, both basic and DLC is paid on mobile, yep. That is indeed the case there, where you start with something free, some amount of puzzles free on mobile. I don't know if that'd be like 3 or 5 puzzles or what exactly it would mean. But yeah, it seems like it would be 50 total puzzles. Well, 50 total puzzle types, I assume that means, but total 1,200 puzzles? I guess. The thing is, they phrase this the exact same. 1,200 puzzles? 30 puzzles. Like, that's definitely not confusing at all. This should say, like, 1,200 puzzle levels or something like that. That or someone just doesn't know what numbers are who, like, designs the website here. Like, to differentiate them. Because here, it clearly adds up to 50. And here they say 1,200, using the exact same terminology to define it. So they should just say, like, puzzle levels. Because I assume that's what that means, probably. I don't know. Wonder what the 30th anniversary is going to be like? Not much I can promise you that. Yeah, most likely here. But yeah. Yeah, there's far better games in this genre for less. Yeah, there probably is. But yeah. Like, you can get all sorts of engaging puzzle games, but, you know, if you're trying to hand something to, like, your kid that would really get a kick out of something Pokemon-themed, it's like, yeah, sure, there'd be cheaper alternatives, but, you know, it's not the most absurd thing ever. But yeah. Since it's live service, 1,200 was the roadmap, so they're starting out with 50 right now, but the roadmap, they're gonna go up to 1,200. Yes, that's most certainly what they're gonna do. But yeah, there's that. I mean, anything else major to talk about here? I mentioned the only things I feel like I needed to mention about the Pokemon Champions here, where it's like, hey, Pokemon Showdown competitor, but it looks like there's points that you redeem. Like, there's these, look, you've got your freaking V-Bucks over here that you can redeem to change your Pokemon stats and different things. So I wonder how you get that currency, if you can spend any real-world currency to get. Can you look up Pokemon Champions? Is it a free app then? Can you check out Pokemon Champions? Arrives in 2026. Introducing Pokemon Champions. Build your ideal team. Can I see how it works here? Yeah, you can bring some of your past partners into Pokemon Champions through Pokemon Home. Some. So not going to be all Pokemon available? Maybe this is weird wording or something like that. Also, yeah, so if you want to bring some of your existing Pokemon into there, you need to be shelling out for the subscription service. How does the monetization work in this game? Once you found a good match for you, can be added to your team permanently. To do so, you need to use victory points. Yeah, so there is an actual method of progression here. V-Wheel! But yeah, with the wording they use, it's a hair's breadth away from false advertising. Think so. No mention, some said it's paid. If a Pokemon join your team for a trial period, you can battle with it right away to test whether it will suit your strategy. You can use trial recruitment once a day without using victory points, also known as VP. So once a day, permanent recruitment period, unlimited trial recruitment for free. You can do that on a regular basis. Get you coming back on a daily basis. Tailor your team skills in the training feature of Pokemon Champs by using VP. So since they're called victory points, I assume it's points that you just get for like winning matches. By using VP, you can hone your Pokemon attack, defense, and other stats, can even alter their abilities and moves. Customize your team to match your battle style, though remember that you can't train Pokemon during their trial recruitment period. I do wonder what the future of the Pokemon competitive scene is going to look like. Is it still going to be in, like, the main games? Or is the competitive scene going to then switch over to something like this, just for like better ease of people designing their teams, so you don't have to either cheat or spend like dozens upon dozens of hours designing your ideal team with like the exact stats that you want. This would make the cost of entry for competitive Pokemon is already pretty decently expensive with like multiple games and Pokemon Home and all the different stuff that you need to like make an optimal team. But this would just make the cost of entry even more if you need to be shelling out for sure for like the subscription service of Pokemon Home and potentially any monetization with this. Ranked battles, casual battles, private battles. Power up with victory points. So, is this a free thing? I still don't know why you wouldn't just do a Pokemon Showdown. Does that reduce motion? Is stuff coming up? Oh yeah, because stuff is fading. I gotcha. I do wonder if it's paid, or what the heck is going on here. But yeah, I'm somewhat worried that it's gonna be like Revolution though, where the Mon are physically moved to a different game and just stuck there because there's no way to move them off. It'd be great if they shifted to this, but it would surprise me since it would greatly lower the money people need to spend. I guess it would lower then if it's giving you some Pokemon that are specific to this, building your ideal team. But like, does it cycle what ones are available? So like maybe each week it gives you a row of ones that you can add. Like, how does this work? We're probably going to have to find out when the game comes out how it actually works. I probably can't say for sure right now. But yeah. Because Pokemon Showdown won't exist much longer, will it not? Or are you just saying that because you think Nintendo's going to sue them? Like they did with Pal World now that Pokemon Champions is coming out. Anyway, was there anything else to mention with this Direct? There's like the championships, there's Pokemon Concierge. We've probably showcased everything. There's a stop motion thing where Bob, there's the real life park that's gonna work some way somehow. Pokemon Go Fest, Pokemon Master Sex, Cafe Remix, Pokemon Unite, the puzzle stuff. So I guess they did announce one new game during this Presents, being the puzzle game there. Some more stuff with Pokemon Champions and then Legends EA. Bad thing about Champions is they just use Scarlet and Violet animation. Yeah, I mean, they'll reuse stuff where they can, so makes sense there. Cease and desisted of existence, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Amazing frame that I stopped on here. Like, competitive players right now are all buying both versions of the game and all the DLC across both games so they can get the Mon they need. So if this system is good, that goes away. Yeah, it depends on what Pokemon will be available for free in it without you having to transfer from other games, is what it'll really depend on. But yeah, clearly, you know, super big competition events are clearly popular here and have a lot of people at them and all that. So it do be big events. And that's a lot of people that are buying both games and all DLCs and all that to be, one code per person. Yeah, you get a special Tentacool there. Well, boopity bop. So yeah, I'm sure they definitely make a lot of money off of people that need to buy both versions and all DLCs and stuff like that, and you know, we'll continue selling their bundles of 2 games for the same cost as buying 2 games individually. Well, technically not the same cost, technically 1 penny more expensive to do that, to get the bundle. Because, yeah, they make bank off of that. Because, again, highest grossing media IP. It's something that makes bank, but, you know, there's lots of other better games to play. Like, when it comes to those that play Pokemon competitively and stuff, if you have fun doing that, then fine. Like, to each their own, have fun doing it. But I do genuinely wonder why, when you need to buy so many different games to play it competitively, put so much time in just to make a team in the first place, instead of just buying a game that you can play, like, with everything available out of the box right there and get into it competitively with just that one game. Like, why would you choose, like, the most expensive possible option and, like, one of the most time investment options? Never mind, like, actually just practicing grinding out using your team, when it takes so much time to even just make the team in the first place and so much money. Basically pay to win. It really is. There have been some very interesting video essays made on YouTube before that really analyze just how many games you need and how much you need to be spending minimum if you want, like, a competitive advantage. Like, what Pokemon are the meta that you gotta be running if you want to stand, like, a decent chance? And what games do you have to buy? Like, what is the cheapest possible way to do it? And it gets into some pretty ridiculous numbers. Like, I cannot imagine playing Pokemon competitively. I could imagine playing something like Pokémon Tournament competitively. That's kind of fun. I actually enjoyed playing Pokémon Tournament. And then that's a game where it's like, hey, here's the one game right out of the box. DLC as well, you can argue. But hey, it's just the one game. You can practice. You don't have to spend like forever making a team. You don't have to buy a bazillion different games and subscription services to do it. But yeah. Let's see here. I mean, Game Freak handles its own cease and desist. Yeah, so they might do something there. If they have Raid for Champions to distribute Pokemon, it would be better. But just put them in a store/battle pass as an option too. Oh yeah, they might do something like that. And that could be a model that they monetize it in. And that could be another way that they monetize their competitive scene there and stuff. But yeah. The cost of entry of VGC is insane. No wonder they use PK Hex, yep. Yeah. Yeah, I've said it in some previous video essays before. If you want to get into competitive Pokemon, just cheat. As long as it's not giving you an inherent advantage over other players, like giving you Pokemon stats that aren't obtainable legitimately. As long as you're only cheating to obtain something that can be obtained legitimately, you're just skipping the insane, like, time and money investment. I think that's fine. I think cheating is fine from that perspective. Obviously, if you're hacking into things that aren't legal, then, like, you know, that's not cool. You can't be getting a competitive advantage that others wouldn't have. Like, that, I'd never condone that kind of cheating. But in terms of just, like, skipping the grind, yeah, just cheat, man. Like, what the heck? Yeah, it's always the DLC Pokemon. I mean, look at Urshifu, the only Pokemon that can break protect. Yep. Yeah, if you want a competitive chance, you gotta be using Urshifu. That is one of the most go-to Pokemon I've heard there. And one of the things that I heard about, like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is after the DLC came out, one of the things that really became meta and competitive was just the fact that with the DLC of Scarlet and Violet, Incineroar became available again. And then, you know, now you have everyone's gotta be running Incineroar and all that too. I mean, if you kept up with competitive Pokemon, had to own every single game since Gen 2, including some spin-offs, what, you're saying for, like, competitive today, or are you just saying, like, competitive throughout history? Is there things that you would need to, like, transfer all the way from Gen 2 to today if you wanted the best competitive advantage? Is that really the case there? It's hilarious that used Tekken animation on Pokemon. Yeah, the Pokemon Tekken game is actually pretty good. I actually really like Pokémon Tournament. But yeah, well, until like Gen 7 or so when they banned old Pokemon, so all your money was made worthless. Yeah, I mean, there was that, where there's only some Pokemon available with each game. Cheating is frowned upon in the Pokemon community. Yeah, I have no doubt, but realistically, should it really be when otherwise you have to spend hundreds on hundreds of dollars to have a chance otherwise? The moment Incineroar came out, everything went to shit. That's what I've heard. I don't really follow a lot of stuff when it comes to competitive Pokemon because it's not something that I have interest in spending that much time and money on. No thank you. But from the little bits that I've heard, that was very much the case there. Through history, but even some mons, you need some that are from really old gens. That's how it was a few years ago. You have special tutor moves or special versions of mons. Oh yeah, with the, some of the spin-offs games or some of the very specific titles where it's like, this move can only be tutored in this one game, and it's something that you want if you want competitive advantage there. But yeah. So yeah, I think we've pretty much covered what the stuff with this direct was. Can't believe I've already been streaming for a couple hours. So yeah, we were able to talk here for a little while about a decent few things, and I don't know if there's anything else to really mention with this game here. Voldemort and Pokemon community with that one person. Well, there's that. Fair enough there. Well, should I, let's see here. Pokemon Legends ZA player character? Or something like that? I can start a poll thingamabob here. Tools, color, transparent. Is there separate ones for, can we do like a vote thingamabob here? Viewing game? Here. Let's go into the polls channel. Pokemon Legends Z. Hold on. Slow mode is enabled. I think I disabled the ability for anyone else to write here. I had it on when like people could do their own suggestions for the last 24-hour cherry stream. I think slow mode is just on by default. Is the case here. Pokemon Legends ZA coming out this October. Who we playing, lads? We going, wah? We going dude? our due-det for this playthrough? Will it be like X and Y? Where you gotta be due-det for any real customization? Or will this game actually be cooler? I don't know. Here, let's start a poll. The options that you can vote on are dude, bam, thumbs up, or due-det. And I saw it, like, here, this. Boop. Copy image. Due-det. Bam. Look, there's our options. Bam. Poll is live. It'll go until October here, I guess. There's immediately a vote for due-det from, does it not show the full, I guess, no, well, I'm in streamer mode there. But yeah, I mean, it's already July, so, I mean, a few months away here. So I guess this poll will be up for a decent while. Will be the case. It started pretty early here, but then there's just lots of chance to vote here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought from, like, the profile picture, but I was like, am I getting false memories here? But nope, not the case. Oh, we got one for dude. I really want there to be, like, good, like, customization options for the dude in this game. But do I trust it, is the question. Like, if there's some actual really cool customization options for the dude in Legends ZA, that'd be pretty hype. And, you know, not get as shafted as Pokemon X and Y. But we'll see. We shall certainly see here what the case is. I'll just play whatever gets voted on. I'm cool doing either or. Unless, you know, the customization options turn out to be, like, really awful for the dude. Then I'll be, like, really upsetty spaghetti as I'm playing the game, where it's like, man, why do we have X and Y going on again here, where the customization options just suck? But yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything else to really mention. Anyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, come and join the Discord server and vote on what you'd like to see there. I know nothing about Pokemon Concierge here. I don't know if it's any good or bad, but yeah, it looks charming enough and stuff like that. I'm sure that there's those that probably enjoy it. It's interesting that Pokemon got an exclusive Netflix show. But yeah. Yeah, they definitely show a lot more female customization in the trailer. They didn't really show much in the way of male customization, which does make me a little bit worried, admittedly. Like, when they're showing all the different costumes, they show, like, the different outfits here. They only show them on the female trainer. Like, look, here's a whole bunch of different ones that they show on the female trainer, but they just don't show ones for the male trainer. And it seems like whenever the male trainer's on screen, it's just like the default kind of starting costume, unless I'm going crazy here. So is that a sign of things to come? Is that a sign that the prophecy will repeat itself with X and Y? And the male trainer's gonna get shafted again? Looks boring to you, fair enough there. Yeah, again, if I wasn't showcasing it on the channel, I don't think I'd pick it up. I think that's everything that I had to say here. Usually after doing one of these morning Pokemon Present streams, I would switch to streaming something else. Like, switch to one of my other ongoing playthroughs here. But I actually have stuff to do today. I'm gonna spend today making a Haskap Raspberry Jam. And that's gonna be a process that, might take me a little bit, because I probably need to go out and buy jars. For that, I don't think I have enough jars as is. Which, I mean, I guess it wouldn't take that long. It's not that long of a process. It's when I've made jelly in the past where it takes a little bit longer, because I have to juice all the fruit and let it drip overnight to get all the juice out. But since I'm making jam, which difference between jelly and jam is jelly just uses fruit juice, jam actually still uses, like, the actual parts of the fruit. Since I'm trying to make jam this time and just mashing fruit together, it might not take me that long. Maybe I can stream for just a little bit here. Stream you making it then. I have to, like, stream from my phone or something like that. Yeah, just turn this into a cooking stream or a baking stream or something like that. I technically could, but it'd be really awkward and weird. I guess I technically have, like, a tripod mount for my phone. I have to download some sort of streaming app or do it from my laptop. I'm not seriously considering it, but, you know. There be that. But yeah, biggest worry, male trainer potentially getting shafted in the customization front. Well, yeah, I guess maybe I can do like a few hour stream here of a different game that I can switch to, and then still have lots of time for my jelly making, or my jam making, because it won't take that long there. I think it's Scarlet Violet unisex because one of the haircut is half up chignon and it's a woman haircut. And was it showing that on the male trainer? Like, I've always been like preaching for just like give the same customization options to both, especially considering like when I play a dude in any video game, I want to have long hair. I want to have hair that like truly matches what I rock in real life here. Like if I take out my hair ties here. I know that it's a lot more common in games in real life for like women long hair, guys short hair, but come on. Come on, man. Why can't I be in a video game and play a guy with locks like this? I don't think that there's really been a Pokemon game yet where I could have had locks like this. The game that I've played that had the most similar hair length to what I actually had was Elden Ring, but only after the Shadow of the Erdtree update. In the original game, there wasn't really, like, a super duper long hair option, but with the Shadow of the Erdtree update, they actually added, like, a really good long hair option, and I got quite the kick out of that. Like, I like being able to play a character that actually looks like me, but that's not usually the case in games that I play. Yeah, I guess the dude and dudette is just pronoun. And hey, if that's the case, like, that'd be perfectly fine there if, like, all the customization options are available to both. I'd be hyped for that. Just give me all the customization options available instead of, you know, one side getting cool stuff and the other just not. But, you know. Man, I look so different when my hair is down compared to, tied up, huh? And it gets a lot warmer here. Dude, we could be so shafted. Oh, hell yeah. But yeah. Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. No more music. Oh, no, another one is coming in there. Wow, all the sniffles. All the sniffles here. Well, yeah, I guess I can do a short stream of switching over to something else. Like another game that I would never play if I wasn't a content creator. This boring adventure that I'm chipping away at bit by bit. Get another story of it done, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll do that, I don't know. Because jam making probably won't take me too long. I don't think here. I don't know what's going on with music here. I'm just gonna pause it, is what I'm gonna do. Because I think we're pretty much done. Or I guess I can unpause it. I'm about to wrap up here in a second anyway. Maybe I'll take a BRB break and then, do a very short stream of something else. Is maybe what I'm gonna do here. What day is it today? Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Thursday coming up, we'll be doing the Mario Party Switch 2 expansion update showcase. Which, again, if I hadn't written it down, I would have completely forgotten that that was coming out there. Like, I need to write these things down. But I haven't exactly had any breakfast yet, so maybe I'll go grab some breakfast or something here, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll do a short stream of something else. But that's it for the Pokemon Present stuff. Keep an eye out for the Pokemon Legends ZA playthrough in a few months' time. At some point, I would like to do some other Pokemon stuff around here. I would eventually like to do Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. I don't know when I'll do that. Yeah, I figure I'll also play the Kirby DLC. I don't know when that's coming out, but I figure I'll showcase that on the channel here. Wow. Would like to do that. But, yeah, I guess this just about wraps up the Pokemon Present stuff. Appreciate everybody that stopped by and tuned into the Pokemon Present stream here. But it's time to wrap things up now. You like that dragon that I 3D printed yesterday? It's going to be another Fragapalooza prize for a couple weeks here. Lucky winner will end up taking that dragon home after playing in my Smash tournaments or Mario Kart tournament. Will be the case. That's why there's a dragon there. But yeah. Time to switch things up.